Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Build your credit history with the Chime Secured Credit Builder Visa Credit Card. No credit checks to apply. Get started at chime.com/build.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card is issued by Stride Bank N.A. member FDIC. Chime checking account and 200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Heidi Klum. It's been a while, maybe forever, really, I've talked about Heidi Klum.
She does the America's Got Talent.
She sure does.
Yes. I mean, she doesn't do them, but she's part of it.
I liked your version better.
Said now everyone's applying to be a judge for America's Got Talent.
Supermodel Heidi Klum, the judge that does America's Got Talent. She's attracting attention because, well, she put up an Instagram story where she's like, hey, here's how I make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you know, and...
Do we need an Instagram story explaining how to make something that only has 2 ingredients?
Well, here's the thing. The reason we need this story is because her version does not have just 2 ingredients.
Oh.
She throws butter on her peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I've heard of people doing that before.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to even experiment with that. I'm like, I gotta now go find the butter. It's not melted right.
I don't know why anybody would complain about this because you can add butter to anything, in my opinion, and it's just delicious. And that's what she talked about. She's like, every sandwich that she makes, she puts butter on it no matter what the ingredients are. And I don't disagree with her. Butter just, I don't know, man, butter's so awesome.
The thing is, I put butter on all of it. It doesn't matter if it's peanut butter, if it is salami, if it is cheese, if it's Philadelphia, it doesn't matter. You put butter on it because bread has all little holes in it. This is how you close all the holes, and it has a nice smear to it, and then you put your toppings on it. Most bizarre thing to me that you guys all don't put butter on your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The bread has little holes in it.
Okay, I love Heidi Klum. Heidi Klum is my new hero. Just for the bread has little holes in it. That should be a drop that we just every once in a while go, why is the world the way it is? The bread has little holes in it. Cover them up with butter.
I love how obsessed she is with the little holes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. And her accent and all of it, I'm just like, Heidi, you are a rock star. I love that. It's just like a very... I would never expect Heidi Klum to have that conversation. And I love that that's a real basic conversation, but on a weird twist.
In all fairness, I don't know if she ever thought she would have that conversation. She's like, I just posted a stupid thing on my Instagram. I didn't think a reporter, I mean, quote unquote, I mean, a reporter's probably as much as a reporter as we are, was going to ask her a question about putting butter on her peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Apparently you don't understand how important it is when we're talking about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and whether people bastardize it or if, in fact, this is the greatest thing ever to add to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This is big news, Steve. Big news, baby.
Let's talk about the Jimmy John sandwiches.
Ooh. Oh, the best. Do they got holes in the bread?
No, but I was talking to my buddy about it yesterday. Somehow we just got on the topic of Jimmy John's. I'm like, you know, there's something about their mayo that really hits in a different way, and it's amazing.
Oh, wow.
And he just looks and goes, yeah, they put more mayo on your sandwich than anyone has ever put mayo on a sandwich. That's why it hits differently.
So it's not necessarily spiced differently. It's just you're slathered in mayo.
They put mayo on the entire piece of bread as opposed to just like the top.
Yeah. Right. Like, and I remember like looking at my buddy, I'm like, I don't know what it is about their mayo, but it tastes so good. And he's just like, they're not doing anything different with the mayo. They're just putting a crap ton on it. Yeah. And I'm like, well, they need to keep doing that.
Here's the problem, okay? What we don't remember, we also know that mayo has a fair amount of fat and calories, and this is why we stopped putting a bunch of mayo on everything. Mayo never stopped being delicious. We just realized we needed to be a little bit more healthy. And
fat schmat. Put all the mayo you can on it.
And really Jimmy John's was like, Guys, I don't think you remember what life used to be like in the good old days where everything was slathered in mayo. Here, we'll show you.
It changes sandwiches for you, though.
Oh, dude, I get extra mayo no matter where I go.
Even at Jimmy John's?
Well, I think Jimmy...
Did they just give you one of those tubs with like the bread sticking in the actual mayo?
Dude, I didn't realize it, but I think Jimmy John's wrecked me for other sub shops. And when you just told this story about how it's the mayo and they put more mayo on everything, and Danny's like, it's all over the bread, I'm like, this is why, and no matter where I go, and I know if it's not Jimmy John's, I didn't know that was the case, but it's like, put more mayo on my bread. And I always get extra mayo on my tuna sandwich. I know you guys hate tuna, but tuna's already got mayo in it. But I'm like, no, you don't understand. There's not enough.
Needs more. There's never not enough mayo.
Well, another thing with Jimmy John's too, and I believe they're the ones that they actually take out some of the bread as well, so they can put more toppings on. So, like when
they'll cut the bread out,
when they cut the bread, they take some of the soft part out, so the meat and veggies fit in your mouth better.
What?
Yeah.
These guys really, you know what? Not only are they
it's like carbs, so that mayo is really healthy.
You're welcome. Yes.
Look, I will tell you, I'm today years old thinking like, what difference can a sub company make how they do things? And first of all, I am impressed that Danny's got he's got the lowdown on Jimmy John's.
Yes.
I feel like this is like Vicky level of Wikipedia, how Danny's coming out here.
I used to work there.
Oh, I don't think I realized that.
Yeah, back in college, I worked there for a little bit. I was freaky fast delivery man. I never made the sandwiches. I just did
so why are you telling us about how to make these sandwiches?
Because I would watch them.
Yeah, well, you weren't good enough to make them.
That's true.
Yeah. That is, yeah. Why could I mean, I know you're not a sandwich artist. That's another company. But why weren't you good enough to be like the sandwich guy at Jimmy John's?
The delivery drivers got paid better.
Oh, yeah, you get the tips.
Yeah, because you have to do the bike thing, and
you know what? That's what they tell them, Steve.
Oh.
Behind closed doors.
They just didn't trust his sandwich making ability.
Yeah, if you're a sandwich artist, I'm sure you're getting paid well because you're an artist. It's in the name.
Yeah, I kind of want to know. This is so sad that I'm literally on YouTube typing in making a Jimmy John sub because I want to see somebody make it.
Oh yeah, so they show you that Jimmy John's have a video of people making their subs?
Well, yeah, they're not like it's not like a secret. I mean, you can watch someone make it. I just wanted to see how much mayo they really put on it because whenever I've gone in there, they have those big ass tubs of mayo and they just take like a spatula and they just like scoop it and just go.
See, you feel that way, just like I do with the Krispy Kreme glaze. I just want to be buried in a tub of that. Don't give me a coffin. Just glaze me and just let me stand up glazed.
You're a glazed donut man, and Steve is mayo man.
Yeah. It's a good team, baby.
There are a lot of videos of people making Jimmy John subs, so clearly we're not the only ones that are interested in this.
Well, especially if Danny says they got tips and tricks, and I would like to know if also there's a little bit of a different spice that they put in their mayo because, man, you're right. There is something about that mayo.
I think it's just an abundance of mayo. That's why you taste it.
An abundance of mayo. Why does this stuff have to be bad for you?
Right?
In
I feel like there's
large
no rule.
quantities. Everything in moderation, sure.
I feel like anything that's white and creamy should be good for you.
Okay. Alrighty.
Ranch.
Ranch is super good, yeah.
I really feel like I have to tag
Blue
out.
cheese.
Are you sure I can't tag out of this conversation? Because I really feel like I should.
Glaze.
Glaze is, I don't know how creamy it is. And it's kind of, it's sort of like, translucent-y, but, that's okay. It still, I think, fits the category just because I love it so much.
Yeah, I'm not signing off on that one.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, it's not white and creamy enough for you?
White and creamy.
Okay, I feel
like that's my new hip-hop name.
I really have to go now. Hope you guys all have a nice day. We got a dude that got into a car accident and a French fry. Well, of course, it's got to be food, right? A French fry is to blame. Steve will tell you all about this. He's got the Migs report for you at 6:20 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
If you're hearing an informative newscast right now, well, then you must not be listening to BJ and Migs. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks to Palace Law for giving us the Migs Report. And today is a good day for a good neighbor. Happy National Good Neighbor Day.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Okay, that's very true. Maybe you have neighbors that have to deal with people who are hanging out in their backyards as the cops show up. which happened yesterday.
I feel like that's somebody next to me that went through this.
Yeah, it wasn't us personally, but it was in our neighborhood. All of a sudden, we have a small development. There's cop cars in there. The sirens are going off. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Thankfully, because of social media and because of like the ring cam posts that people put up there, we found out what was going on. Apparently, someone stole a car, ditched it, and tried to hide in somebody's backyard. They had canine dogs, and they found the dude, though, thankfully.
Oh, man, dude. When stuff like that happens in your area, you're like, what?
And every time you're just like, what is going on? And within like seconds, your phone gives you an alert from like Ring Cam or the Next Door Neighbor app. And you're like, well, that answers that question. Thank goodness for that kind of stuff. Because I feel like you never get those answers to those questions otherwise.
So Ring Cam has a feature where they'll tell you what's going on, like in your
yeah. Do you not use your Ring Cam?
I have Ring Cam, but I don't know if I get that like right off the bat. Hey, here's what's going on.
Oh, I'll get like an alert on my phone. And it'll just be like, people use it almost like it's a social media page. So in addition to being able to go on, check out like, our page, then there's also like the neighbors will be like starting to say some stuff like, hey, there's a cat hanging out outside of our house. Whose cat is this?
Whoa.
But like, I was like, what's going on around Shaw Road? There's like 10 police vehicles. And I'm like, well, we live right by there.
I never knew that feature existed. I wonder if I don't have the right thing turned on.
Maybe your notifications aren't on.
It's almost like the neighborhood app, but through Ring. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow.
My favorite, though, was one time it was thunder, and it was loud. I understand it was loud. There were people on the Ring Cam really thinking that a bomb went off. And everyone's just like, look outside your house. It's raining. There's lightning. It's thunder.
Oh, and thank you, Steve, because it said I clicked on the neighbors, and first of all, it says nothing's going on, nothing's happening. But then it said I could turn on my notifications.
Yeah.
Oh, never miss an incident by receiving notifications via. I don't know if I'm on by an email.
99 times out of 100, it's completely useless to what I need. But in a situation like yesterday, we're like, what the hell's going on in our neighborhood? You get your answers. Just like that.
Oh, look at this thief stealing package by my neighborhood.
Boom. You've got porch pirates, BJ.
Whoa, look at this porch pirate.
I might regret telling BJ this. He's going to spend the rest of the morning learning about his neighborhood.
Look at this guy, this brazen son of a gun right now. Just took somebody's package.
Yeah, you can post a video from your Ring Cam.
Look at this guy. I can't tell. He's got a hood on. It might be like a Sith Lord. I don't know who it is.
Yes. A lot of Sith Lords live in Mercer Island.
Yeah, they do. Stealing packages, apparently.
Well, we effectively lost BJ for the rest of this morning. He's going to be on his
I had no idea this was a thing. Thanks, Steve.
All right, well, it's also National Drink Beer Day, so...
Yes.
I don't know, Danny, is that just Thursday for you, right?
Really, I mean, that's also true. And I think I'm going to postpone it because the Great Pumpkin Beer Fest is happening tomorrow and Saturday. So I will drink all the beer.
Is that at Elysian?
It's Seattle Center, but it's Elysian's event, yeah.
Are they doing the tattoo thing there?
They should be. My girlfriend's making me go at 4:00 so that way we make sure it's first come, first serve.
Yeah, because they do this kind of thing with Elysian. They do these different events at the Seattle Center. I went to one once where the Murder City Devils play. That's how I know about it. And they have like tattoo artists set up, and you can get some kind of Elysian-related tattoo, like the Space Dust logo.
Oh, wow.
A little small one, but like the line is insane for that usually. Like people are just waiting to get Elysian's logo or brand tattooed on them for free.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
I can appreciate that if you happen to like Elysian, which they do make a lot of good stuff.
I met someone who had like a whole collection of them. Like he had all different ones.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never do it, but it's cool.
That would be funny if that was your tattoo. It was like the Space Dust logo.
Well, I want to look like a NASCAR driver. I'm just going to have ads all over my body. Yes. That's what I'm. Instead of having any tattoos that mean anything to me, I am going to just basically be advertising.
Today is also National Ask a Stupid Question Day, so I feel like today I'm going to have to ask a stupid question to Brian Danielson. He'll be joining us at 8:15 this morning as All Elite Wrestling is coming to town this weekend for 2 shows at Climate Pledge Arena. First one Saturday for Collision, and then on Sunday for their big pay-per-view, Wrestle Dream. Of course, Brian Danielson will be at both of those. But let's talk about French fries. A guy was choking on a French fry while driving and ended up getting into a massive crash. He crashed into a business, like an Enterprise car rental, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah.
Because he's probably going to need one of those after what happened to his car. It's like all wrecked and stuff like that. He lost control and ran right into an Enterprise rent-a-car. You think they were like, man, you just leave it at the parking lot. You don't bring it actually into the place. I don't know. Sorry. There was a woman who witnessed and said, I never really thought about the dangers of eating while driving. I would never think eating a French fry would lead to that.
Dude, that's why I always have water. I always have a bottle of water. In
case you inhale a French fry?
Yeah. Like if I can just swallow that down and not have it. Yeah, because that scares the hell out of me what happened to that dude.
Hey, how about Washington State in the news on a national level, all because somebody tried to driving the carpool lane by using a dummy sitting next to him.
I love, you know what, that will never end. Folks are always going to do that.
This happened on 167, and a state trooper from Washington here, Washington State, they posted it on their social media pages. It's pretty funny. It's a dude driving with somebody who had it was a Halloween mask that was strapped to their passenger seat. I have the picture. I gotta find it for you. It's pretty bad.
That is
the
fantastic.
mask is just attached to the headrest, and then he put a vest over it and a scarf. But there's no body. The body is the actual seat.
That's the part that needs to look like somebody's there.
I mean,
you really need the seat. The seat is. He totally did this backwards.
I do love the trooper Rick Johnson wrote scary, but still doesn't count.
Yeah,
I mean, a little extra effort into that. You got to get a body for the thing, and also why would a guy with it looks like one of those white Jason Myers masks, but it has orange X's on it.
I think it's from the weird, not the Purge type movies. I think that's what they're from.
What it is?
I believe so.
Well, you got a ticket for that.
Yeah.
I guess the minimum fine for that is $186, but if it's not his first offense, $336.
They're trying to purge money from his account.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we need to purge some wins from the Mariners account.
Yeah.
What a game. That was a tough one, man. It was the fourth inning. The game was tied. Then a big home run, a 3-run dinger, and then the Mariners ended up losing to the Houston Astros 8-3. Not good for when you're trying to make a playoff push to lose to the Astros. Also, man, the tempers were high in this game.
Yeah, they were,
especially between the pitcher Hector Neris and Julio Rodriguez, our guy.
Yeah.
Julio's not having a good little run right now because in this series he went 0 for 9. He struck out when it was you needed him to step up
twice, and
Neris was just calling him out. They got, I don't know what was said. Some people say he said something really inappropriate, but apparently they were friends. Someone said they're buddies, but didn't look like it.
No,
because he struck out Julio. He flexed. He said something about not in my house, and then said something I guess that was super inappropriate, and it just pissed off Julio Rodriguez. And here's the announcers talking about it.
Got him on 3 pitches. Ran the splitter in on him. Julio strikes out. Neris strikes out the side, and he strands Crawford. Watch out now. Here comes Neris talking to Julio, and everybody's emptied out.
Well, Neris obviously said something to Julio after he ended up striking him out.
Bullpen start to empty. This is one of a number of times something like this has happened as Neris is making his way to the dugout. Now, Eugenio Suarez having some pretty firm words. Manny Acton trying to move him back. Now, Julio pretty firm with what was said to him. Boy, it does not take much now to spark the kindling between these two teams.
Yeah, crowd, though. I love that they were trying to go to a commercial break because they had the music playing, and they're like, well, I guess we're not going to a commercial break.
Yeah, we aren't.
Yeah, Julio, 4 strikeouts yesterday.
Yeah, 2 with big situations.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, there's still a chance.
And your boy also did not do well for us.
He's done plenty. This is not a Teoscar Hernandez slander station.
It is when you can't catch the ball, Teoscar.
It was a bad game. It was bad on so many levels.
Yeah.
But man, the Mariners still have a chance. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a lot because now, what do they have? 4 games with the Texas Rangers, who have just owned us all season long. But what if? There's a massive what if. So if the Mariners could get 1 win against Texas, they would not be able to catch the Astros. So they got to win more than 1.
Yeah.
So you need 2 wins. You need to at least split the series. And if they split, though, the Astros have to lose all 3 of their games against Arizona.
Yep.
That doesn't look very likely.
Yeah, and then there's Toronto. Toronto has 4 games. They're playing the Yankees today, and they're also playing the Rays the last 3 games of the season, which it's tough because the Rays know they're in the playoffs. Yeah. So will they just rearrange things so that their pitching matches up, because the Rays will be in the next round of the playoffs, so they won't get a bye. So I don't know how good they're going to play the Blue Jays.
I mean, at least we have the tiebreaker over them if it ends up being but I mean, that's a massive if.
Yeah.
I mean, also Mariners, they win 3 games against the Rangers, and the Astros would just need to lose 2 against the Diamondbacks. And then if the Mariners sweep all 4 games against the Rangers, then all the Astros have to do is lose 1 game to the Diamondbacks, and we're in.
Yeah, because I think if they sweep the Rangers, they still lose. Like let's just say they sweep the Rangers and the Astros keep winning, then it would be Texas and us in the wild card. But I feel like you told us yesterday that Texas owns the season.
I think we only beat them once all season
which
long.
Means that I think they just go too bad. I don't. If there are 4 teams tied for the wild card, only 3 get in, and that 4th one is just SOL. And I think that would be us then.
That is so frustrating.
Yeah.
There's still a chance.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I feel like I'm going to owe you breakfast again. Why did I make that bet on Instagram?
I don't know why you did that.
That was so stupid. You got me all fired up. Does it count? Can we delete that video? Yeah. Shut up.
Look, I just want to pat myself on the back.
Oh, great.
I want to pat myself on the back. I was saying at the trade deadline, forget about your offense, and which they didn't. They went out and got these 2 dudes, got rid of our closer, which I just feel like, dude, you guys are pitching and defense, and you got rid of your closer, which puts so much strain on a bullpen. Yep. You add pitchers, but if they're not as good as the closer, then everybody gets stretched out, and our pitching's let us down.
And there were a few games where if we had a good closer, we probably would have won them, and this wouldn't even be a conversation.
Agreed. I know that the 2 dudes that we got, Canzone and Rojas, have helped. But I don't know. I feel like we might have still done better just getting a pitcher. Did
they help more than it would have if we had a closer?
Yeah, and I know pitching is not easy to come by in July. I get that as well. But the team is pitching and defense, and they were never going to be able to make the offense a juggernaut, especially in the playoffs. I question these decisions.
Here we go. Refuse to lose, Soto Mojo, whatever, believe, any of the old catchphrases.
It's not over yet, baby.
Sweep the Rangers. This is the time to do it. What a story that would be. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, you got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions. Big news for everyone who cares. Taylor Swift will be at the game on Sunday as the Kansas City Chiefs take on the New York Jets. That was a top story I kept coming across.
Do you think they are together?
I think they might be serious. But I'm not positive about that.
2 games for Taylor Swift. Yeah, this is serious. I mean, it's got to be serious.
We got a preseason game tonight. The Kraken are at Climate Pledge Arena taking on the Vancouver Canucks. If you go and you're a wrestling fan, be on high alert because some of the AEW stars are going to be there getting everyone excited for this weekend's Climate Pledge Pledge Arena show. So Brian Danielson's going to be at the game. Also Darby Allin and also Seattle's own Nick Wayne, I believe, is going to be there as well. So there's going to be a lot of AEW love that's going to be happening at the game. And like I mentioned, Brian Danielson will be joining us this morning at 8:15 to chat about this weekend as well. As far as weather, we're going to hit a high of 60. It's going to rain. Thank you, Beacon Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, Septic, and Mechanical for giving us the Migs Report.
Boy, fall just came, just like that.
A punch in the face.
Yeah, we did. Sometimes we sneak a couple of nice October weeks in there, like, a couple of weeks, and then mid-October you go, okay, here we go.
I think we got some sun happening this weekend. Still not like in the 70s anymore, but.
Yeah, I'll take some sun in the 60s if I can get that.
That added to yesterday. It's just like, freaking Mariners. It's dumping rain. They suck.
Yeah. I know, man. God, in Houston. Again, Houston finds a way to beat us. I'm just so frustrated. I don't know if you heard Dusty Baker was whining because a couple of Astros got hit.
Yes.
And, somebody did some stats on it and said, you know what, Dusty, shut up. The Mariners are the team that gets hit the most in baseball. And out of all the teams that hit us, Houston hits us more. So it's just like, shut up, Dusty. And I'm with them. Yeah, shut up, Dusty.
It's a fun rivalry between these 2 teams.
I do like that.
That has happened.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, one of the teams is just full of cheaters and then the other's us.
Yes.
So I really.
And it's fun that we have a rivalry with a team that also views it as a rivalry, because there's been times where you're like, there's this rivalry, and the other team's fan base and the other team are just like, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
Yeah, like San Diego.
We just show up and beat you.
San Diego's like, we don't care about you guys.
Right.
What do you mean? Yesterday, Steve, we got this one wrong.
What Barbie star played Sharon Tate in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Kristen Wiig?
No.
Michael Cera?
No.
Okay, then.
Sarah McLachlan?
No.
Woo! Sarah McLachlan probably never gets mentioned more on any other format at all except our show. She just gets, her name just gets thrown out there randomly.
She cares about the animals, man.
She does care. Margot Robbie, she was the answer we were looking for. Call in now for a shot at beating Steve. 206-803-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I owe a lot of back taxes. Can bankruptcy help me?
Bankruptcy can discharge back taxes under certain circumstances. Some types of taxes are never dischargeable, like if you have taxes from an employee, if you ran a business and didn't pay employee taxes or sales taxes. Those types of taxes cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. However, most people don't have those kind of taxes. Most people have just regular income taxes. If you owe income taxes and you filed your tax returns but just weren't able to pay the taxes, if the taxes are more than 3 years old and you filed the tax returns, those types of taxes can be discharged in bankruptcy in most circumstances, especially through a Chapter 13 case.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Friday, November 17th at 7 o'clock. Guess what? Live Day goes to prom night. Now, I said 7 o'clock. Not in the morning, buddy.
Yeah.
7 p.m. Live Day becomes live night. You get to go.
Sleep in and get ready to party with us on a Friday night.
Yeah, we're going to be at Snoqualmie Casino on the 17th, 7 p.m. But it's just like every live day, which means we're going to have sound effects, music, special guests, all live, all broadcast on KISW. But you get to be in the crowd because it's a Friday night.
And you get to watch the train wreck. And I feel like there'll be a lot of train wrecks since, people on our station might be having a couple of beverages before they get on the air.
I do not want to besmirch the good names of a man named Miles or a man named Fred.
Oh, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, it can't be that. We know it's Taryn. Taryn's the one we're talking about. We always got to watch out for Taryn. It's going to be great, man. And this year the theme is prom night. So get dressed up with us. I know what you're thinking. All right, got to be there, and I can be there. Well, get your tickets now. snocasino.com.
Let's play B Migs. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. B Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. B Migs. You're a loser.
Who's ready to be Migs?
Let's do it.
I know Sam from Squim is. Sam, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right,
I have a
Steve.
question for Sam real quick. Oh, actually, you know what? Real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Squim is the banana belt.
It's the banana belt, BJ.
Is it raining where you are, Sam?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think it's a big lie. Because I was thinking of like someday having a place in Squim just because they supposedly get sun 300-something days a year.
Yeah, but if those other days, they become a moist banana.
Oh, wow. Yeah, never mind.
Like a moist banana.
Nothing like a moist banana in the morning.
You know what? I'm sorry for interrupting you, Sarah. You should have thrown Steve out
really.
before that.
Steve.
So are you more of a firm banana type of person?
Okay, I've got to know.
I like all bananas.
Okay.
I'll take how they come anyway.
I'm your father.
What? Bananas are tasty.
We're talking about potassium.
I don't think anybody is now.
Get your mind out of together. And
Wow.
Steve, get out of here.
Me, Sam, and Sarah are talking about potassium.
For those playing at home, Sam has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Google's birthday was yesterday. How old did the technology company turn?
14.
No.
13.
No.
12.
No. Which video game series features the Master Chief?
Halo.
Yes. Lemmy was best known for being the frontman of what band?
Motorhead.
Yes. Tropicana is owned by which carbonated soft drink manufacturer?
Coca-Cola.
No.
Pepsi.
Yes. What actress played Hermione in the Harry Potter films?
Oh, criminally. Pass.
When it comes to texting, the abbreviation AMA stands for what?
Pass.
Ricky Martin's hit song Livin' La Vida Loca translates to what in English?
Living the lonely life?
No. What color is the cartoon character Patrick Star?
Living this crazy life.
Yes. What color is the cartoon character Patrick Star?
Pink.
Yes. Police dogs were first used in what European country?
England.
No. And Vicky, I just want to make sure. Did he get the Livin' La Vida Loca one correct? Okay, perfect. Well, you got 5 correct, Sam.
It's all right, man.
Oh, boy.
Well, you brought up Hermione, man, and we just found out we lost Dumbledore. The second Dumbledore just died.
Oh,
Michael Gambon. Yeah,
so sad.
I know. The first one died. They had to replace him in the movies with Michael Gambon, the new Dumbledore, and he just passed away.
Was he old?
Yeah, 80s.
Oh, okay.
82.
So it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not okay that it happened.
It's just like, yeah, but you know. It's just like,
bring down the room, BJ.
He lived a
well,
great
it just
life.
happened. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Not that.
She brought up that whole franchise, and so I feel like today's the day it happened. And you know, what do you want me to say?
Literally happened today?
Yeah. Well,
we're talking about Dumbledore.
Yeah, we just got the news about the second Dumbledore.
Oh wow!
Which, by the way, if you look, this is how you know you're old if you're a Harry Potter fan, because we of course, you know, we lost Hagrid, we've lost both Dumbledores. And look, I mean, really, what's that?
And Snape.
Oh, right, of course, Snape. Yeah,
They're all dying.
I know they are.
What about Frodo? Is he still okay?
Frodo he's on a boat somewhere. We don't know how he's doing.
Steve, are you ready? Google's birthday was yesterday. How old did the technology company turn?
Oh, I saw it. 25.
Yes.
Nice work.
Yes.
Which video game series features the Master Chief?
That would be Halo.
Yes.
Hello.
Lemmy was best known for being the frontman of what band?
Oh, Lemmy. Motorhead.
Yes. Tropicana is owned by which carbonated soft drink manufacturer?
Coca-Cola.
No.
Pepsi.
Yes.
Yeah.
What actress played Hermione in the Harry Potter films?
Hermione. Gwyneth Paltrow.
No.
No, sir.
Sarah McLachlan.
No. No.
Yeah, you're not going to get it.
Dr. Britt Baker.
No.
Dr. Britt
When it comes to
Baker.
texting, the abbreviation AMA stands for what?
Ask me anything.
Yes. Ricky Martin's hit song Livin' La Vida Loca translate to what in English?
Living the crazy life.
Yes. What color is the cartoon character Patrick Star?
Is he pink?
He is.
Yes. Nice.
Police dogs were first used in what European country?
I'm going to go with Italy.
No.
France.
No.
Greece.
No.
Oh.
Kevin Costner starred in the 90s movie Dances with What?
Wolves.
Yes.
All right.
With that, you get 8 correct, which is a win.
Yeah.
8-5.
Sorry, Sammy.
Good job, Steve.
Thank you, my friend.
At least you got the moist bananas to console you, so that's the good
Yeah.
thing. You got that going.
They're playing at the Squim Fair this weekend.
No, you're right. That'd be a great name for a band. Would it, though?
For like a really bad cover band.
Yeah. And now, the Moist Bananas. Oh, God, that does sound horrible.
I would see them.
You know what? If I was at a fair or at an event, and they're like, hey, at 3:00 on this stage, the Moist Bananas are performing, I'm like, putting a reminder in my phone, babe. We're coming back.
You'd have to check it out.
I don't know if I'd actually go pay a ticket to go out of my way to see the Moist Bananas, but if they're at a show that I'm at, I'm going to watch them.
Yeah, that's
This
fair.
Fictional band that we've created.
Okay, everyone, I think, besides Steve, what actress played Hermione in the Harry Potter films?
Oh, come on. Everybody knows. Well, I know Danny knows. I know. Vicky, do you know? Yeah. Oh, all right. Let Vicky get it, because Danny and I both know.
Emma Watson.
Nice work, Vicky.
And police dogs were first used in what European country?
It's got to be England, right?
It's Belgium.
Belgium?
Yeah, Belgium, duh.
I really thought England, because they just love to go hunting with their dogs all the time. Hello, let's go dog hunting on Downton Abbey. That's what they always did. And I can't believe that they weren't the first ones with police dogs. You know what, England, go. You really lost an opportunity. You had a chance to be a somebody.
Nope, Belgium.
That's so crazy. I was talking about police dog activity outside of my house in my neighborhood, and it's a question on Beat Migs.
Isn't that nuts?
It's like something's in the air.
Yeah, and I didn't know the Harry Potter dude died today.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is a crazy universe we're living in today.
So I think what we should do is we should have some waffles while watching Harry Potter.
Belgium, I get it.
Yeah, let's go. I'm
glad you were tracking.
IHOP, baby.
Okay.
And I'll watch a little Harry Potter on my phone. Let's do it. How did you, Danny? How did you feel about that? The new Dumbledore. It took me a long time to get used to him because Richard Chamberlain, who I believe was the first Dumbledore, was such a cool. He seemed like such a nicer Dumbledore.
Wow,
he did. He seemed like I felt like he was a better father figure to Harry than the other guy seemed like. The other guy seemed like he was really a lot meaner.
No, I agree. However, I always thought to myself, like, how is this guy going to do all of the stuff he's supposed to do when he, like, in the 6th and 7th book, like where he's like, or like, sorry, 5th and 6th book where he's like fighting Voldemort. It's like one of those, like, I don't know if he's going to be able to do those scenes.
That's a good call, Danny. You're right, because he was very frail.
Yeah,
the first Dumbledore.
So did the first Dumbledore like actually die?
Yeah.
Oh, so they had to replace him with a different Dumbledore?
Replace him with that guy who just died.
So who's the next Dumbledore then?
Well,
there's no more.
I mean, well, actually, it's Jude Law.
Jude Law, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
in the
okay.
prequels.
In the prequels.
Well, if I'm Jude Law, I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah, you're right, dude. I mean, at this point, it's like, Jude, I don't think you want to be Dumbledore. Dumbledore doesn't last long, and he's already been Dumbledore in 3 movies, I think.
So Dumbledore curse or something.
It might be, yeah. So we're watching out for Jude Law. Hope he's okay.
It's weird seeing. So the guy's name is Sir Michael Gambon?
Yeah, Sir Michael Gambon. And then the first guy, I believe, was Sir Richard Chamberlain. I believe he was a knight, too.
It's kind of crazy to see the difference of how he looks when he's not Dumbledore and when he is, like without the facial hair and the long hair. It's just kind of trippy to see him as just like his normal look.
He grew on me, but it was just such a tough change.
And was it Richard Harris?
Oh, thank you. Not Chamberlain. Thank you, Harris. Thank you, Vicky. Richard
This guy
Harris.
trying to act like, I'm a Richard Harris guy, not no one.
Yeah, you know what? I'm an old guy that, hey, I got Richard right. That's all you're going to get out of me. It was the same thing for, like, even though everybody hated the third Matrix, but the actress that, played basically the mother of the Matrix died between movie 2 and movie 3. And so, that was weird seeing a whole different actress play the part. And they actually had to address it in the movie and they tried to fudge it around. But I so like those people. And so it's so hard when you go, well, there's nothing they could do. And they change it with somebody else. And you're like, I don't like you. Like, you were like, a cool character.
That has to be a tough act to follow for such like a passionate fan base that you're replacing such a well-known and popular character, and like, hey, I'm the new guy, and it's just like, we all hate you. He's like, what do you want from me? The other guy died. I'm just here taking a job.
Did you hate him, Danny, or were you okay? Because it was tough for me. I mean, going to the new Dumbledore, I was not happy about that.
The first movie he was in, which was the third one, was a little tough. Or was it the third one or the fourth one?
It was the third one, yeah.
Yeah, third one. And so it was a little jarring, but then I got used to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough because the third one, actually, Dumbledore was like basically looking like he was kind of being mean to the 3 kids that were the star of the movie, but he had a plan in mind. So you go, okay. But the trouble was, it was the new Dumbledore. So like, as I saw what the kids are going through in the third movie, I'm like, I hate you, Dumbledore. It was because the old Dumbledore wouldn't have done that to Harry. And it was. The problem was what was I in my 50s when that was happening? I sound like I was like in my teens, right. But I was. It's embarrassing. All right, well, congratulations to Dumbledore.
Well, I mean, that's a weird way to pay tribute to a man. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's just you just know you're getting old when. And I would imagine, like people like Danny and Vicky, when people start dying off in a franchise that you love so much, and the actress that plays McGonagall, and she's also been in Downton Abbey.
Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith has got to be, isn't she in her 80s as well?
I don't even know who this person is you speak.
You would know her if you saw her.
You watched Hook, right?
Yeah. Does that actress look familiar to you at all?
She's 88 years old.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I mean...
No, she doesn't look familiar to me at all.
She was in Sister Act, if you saw that.
Now we're talking.
There you go.
One of the greatest movies that come out of the 90s.
You haven't watched a lot of British, like, hello, hoi polloi television? You wouldn't notice her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's on my queue.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, so now is that horrible to have a Harry Potter Death Watch to say that McGonagall's next?
Wow. Okay.
Yes, actually it is.
It's super terrible.
I know it's terrible, but at the same time, this is what's happening. I mean, these people are not young.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if we need to have like a Death Watch for them.
All right.
Well, every morning we're going to say, hey, good morning, everybody. And just to let you know.
There's a lot of old people in Harry Potter. Who's next?
The Sister Act lady is still with us.
Yeah, Maggie Smith. You know what? She's done so many amazing things, but Steve's like, it's the only thing I know her from, so that's what she's going to be. Are you having problems at work, relationship issues, any other random problem where you're like, hey, man, I need some advice? Well, we are here for you. Call us, text us now, 206-803-ROCK. It's Help Wanted. We're going to do that for you at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. Is your relationship going sideways?
Have a family issue? Problems with your coworker?
Do you need advice? We're here to help. No problem is too dumb. No dilemma is too silly. This is Help Wanted with BJ and Migs.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Help Wanted is a thing we started doing because, man, a lot of you folks are texting us, messaging us, just out of control, looking for some control. And
problems.
Yeah, you thought maybe, all right, you guys have been through a lot. BJ, for crying out loud, you're what's I called, a therapy dork? I think is what the guy called me yesterday.
I don't know if it was dork. I can't remember.
Or nerd or geek.
Something.
Some kind of loser. But you also figured, well, you have been in therapy a lot. And you know what? Steve's in the locker room a lot with his boys. Well, you know, the hockey stuff. So they get stuff accomplished in there.
Oh, is that guy makes me qualified for Help Wanted?
Exactly. You drink a beer naked with your boys.
Pass me a beer and shut up.
That's good therapy sometimes. So relationship problems at work, or anything else, it does not matter how dumb you think it is. We are here for you. Call us, text us at 206-803-ROCK.
We've got two that came in this morning, so we're going to start off with the more important one, which is Help Wanted. I need the expert opinion of the Tastemaker. What is his thoughts on the new Expendables movie trailer? I already know that it's better than that boring Barbie movie.
Okay, that is this is just sacrilege and trolling.
No, I'm here to help. I'm the Tastemaker.
Yeah, but I really feel like you do not have to disparage Barbie in order to say that you're excited, or at least to have positive vibes towards the Expendables.
Expendables 4, but they spell it with the A is the letter 4, or the number 4.
Yeah, that's
so it's Expendables.
Expendables.
But it's got some new blood, man. 50 cents in it, baby.
Well, hey,
Jason Statham.
Oh, he's always great.
Sylvester Stallone. Of course, he's like 79 or 76, something like that, still kicking ass.
The OG.
Dolph Lundgren, and most importantly, looking great in it, at least in the trailer, Megan Fox.
Nice. Oh, she's in this too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, they basically have gotten all the old, like, who do dudes like? And, you know,
Megan Fox.
Megan,
yes.
Well, and also all of the action stars.
Yes.
You know, Dolph and Statham, and of course, you know, Sly and 50 Cent. We'll see how he does.
It's going to be great. This is a great movie.
You know who's missing? I'm going to tell you right now.
Who?
Marshawn.
They
really, I'm telling you, I don't know why he wasn't thought of or if he couldn't do it, but Marshawn should be in this movie because Marshawn kills it in everything that he does.
I'm all for that. But yeah, I'm excited about this, of course.
Yeah, I like the other.
Statham, Megan Fox, and Dolph Lundgren in it. Forget about it.
I can't remember the plot to any of the other Expendables movies except somebody pissed them off and they had to go shoot somebody.
Yeah, they have a mission to do, and they got to shoot guns and have fun and make old jokes.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like what happened in 3, and I don't know what happened in 2. They
kicked ass. That's all you need to know, BJ.
Yeah. So when's it coming out?
September 22nd.
Oh,
wait.
Oh, so it's already out.
I guess so.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, that's horrible. I didn't even realize it was out. Whoa, Joey D's hasn't come to me to watch that movie because he did.
You guys, it's going to be out on September 22nd. Can we get into a Wayback Machine?
Do we have a Rotten Tomatoes on it, Vicky?
I'm looking.
Yeah.
I bet it's at least a good, I'm going to go with under 10% from the critics.
Okay.
And above 75% from the audience.
Okay, I would think, I'm going to say it's fresh. I mean, it may not be super fresh, but I'm going to say that it is actually at least 60% by the critics. And yeah, the fans are going to love it. I mean, how do you go there? Unless it's a huge pile. If you're an Expendables fan, how do you not like it?
You really think the critics are going to give it that much love?
60% is right on the cusp.
Ooh, dude.
It's right.
Do you want to go double or nothing from our
Oh,
Mariners
no, not at all. No, not at all. I can't bet on this. I can't bet on this. If you think it's bad yourself, like the critics are going to hate it, then I better just.
It's the Expendables 4.
Yeah, you're right. I can't bet on this, even though I'd like to believe the critics, All
right, Vicky.
All right, what are they giving it?
The tomato meter, which is the critics, gives it 13%.
Oh, my God.
Dude, that's better than I thought.
Oh, no. Whoa, that is horrible.
And the audience gives it 70%.
Dude, you called it.
Nailed it.
With over 250 verified ratings.
Dude, that's awesome. See, people like it. Critics don't. That's my kind of movie.
If I'm a critic, though, I have to tell you, when the critics are so far off what the people love, you're not doing your job as a critic. Because obviously they did everything they're supposed to do for the majority of the people that wanted to go see it. And as a critic, you have to know what that is so that you can give it a fair rating. In my mind, I think that's just such a big disparity that I think the critics have failed us.
Well, critics isn't short for criticize.
Yeah.
It's not like they're called lovers.
It's supposed to be a reviewer, is really as opposed,
right.
Whereas you're like, hey, man. All right, well, it doesn't make me want to see it then by paying money for it.
And even with the Megan Fox.
Dude, I am not a Megan Fox person. I never have been. I've never really been impressed with her work.
I've loved everything she's done.
I know because she looks the way she looks, but you got to do a little bit more.
That's very shallow of you to say.
Well, that's because that's the only reason you like her.
No, she was great as an actress in Transformers. Like that scene where she's hovering over the car.
Okay.
That takes out.
Even you, as much as you try, can't even keep a straight face as you're looking
We
at
have
me.
a text from someone who needs our actual help. It has nothing to do with the Expendables.
So unfortunately, I would wait for it to come out to your free services.
I'm excited for it. Not so excited I knew when it came out.
You're not going to see it in the theater.
I'm waiting for my friend to put it on his Plex account.
You and your wife are going to have a fun time falling asleep in this movie in the comforts of your couch.
You know it. All right, this person said, my friend Erica invited me to her wedding back in 2020, but canceled because of COVID. She had to reschedule it for 2021, but she never reached out with the new info. So I thought, well, I guess I'm no longer invited, so I didn't plan on going. Yeah. Well, she texted me 2 weeks before saying I was uninvited, but I was being re-invited because she had to remove people from her guest list. I said, look, it's too late to plan and go, so I'm not going to be able to make it. And now she won't talk to me. What should I do? And yes, this did happen in 2021. And since then, she refuses to speak to me.
Oh, wow.
Well,
she uninvited you and then basically added you to the list. How can she be that unreasonable? Which I know people can be. But I'm 100% behind this texter.
Weddings bring out the worst in some people.
You're right.
Especially with the whole invite, non-invite thing. Like, yeah, and you know what? I think you dodged a bullet. You don't need this friend in your life.
Yeah, I have to agree. I really, really have to agree with you. And this is I don't know, man. Sometimes us dudes don't get the level of this BS. Maybe sometimes we just say something, throw a drink inside, I don't know, throw a punch every once, and then you're done. This is just insane to me that you get uninvited, which is not cool, and you didn't even know about it. Then you get re-invited with just 2 week notice, and you're the bad guy.
Yep.
Steve's right. You have dodged a bullet. This is not a toxic relationship you need in your life. You're a good person. Just wish her well and know that she is a drama queen and you don't need that.
Just tell her, look, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I was going to see the Expendables that day.
I'm sorry, but a 13% rated movie was more important than your wedding.
That is so. I would like to know, why were you not invited after you were invited?
I thought you wanted to know why Expendables is only getting 13%, which I'm not sure which is more important to figure out.
And there's no tactful way to ask that without it being awkward and weird. Like, there have been times where, like, I've seen certain people, like, obviously not uninvited to a wedding, but like unfriended, and you're just like on social media, and you just want to ask, like, what happened? Like, what was the cause? Even though at the end of the day, why do we care? But it's just a strange thing. Like, what happened to lead you to just be like, I'm done with this person, and then all of a sudden they request you as a friend. I'm like, well, I didn't even know we weren't friends anymore. Yeah. So at some point you were done with me, but now we're cool again. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to work this out.
Yeah, human beings just really don't like to deliver bad news because they don't want to be the bad guy. And like you said, Steve, it comes out at weddings. That's when you've got to be the bad guy, and you just don't want to be the bad guy, so you find a way to demonize the other person. I mean, look, Sarah's wedding was a big stress ball, and it was because of a particular person. And nobody would be honest. I mean, nobody would be honest with the fact that this person just didn't want to come to the wedding. And I'm the only one that knew. I could tell just because, you know what, I've been to enough therapy. I read people to enough to go, this person is like, they don't want to go. And nobody would take that for an answer. And then everybody was like, don't worry, we'll make sure it happens. We'll make sure it happens. And I'm sitting there going, no, this person's not going to go. Let's just understand that and get over and be mad or upset right now. Let's not wait till the last minute. Well, unfortunately, it waited till the last minute. And then guess what? Oh, it was a beating. It was drama. It was not pleasant.
Tom Hanks never showed up, huh?
No. And it was like, he said he was going to, but I knew he wasn't. But I mean, it's like if people could just be honest and go, look, here's why I'm not going to do this. I know it's going to hurt your feelings, but you know what? I got to do what's right for me. It would be so great if we could do that. And then, if people could understand that, listen, this just like, hey, sorry, 2 weeks notice and you uninvited me. No, I'm not going to go. I hope you don't hate me for this. And really, you shouldn't hate me for this.
No, I'm going to stop everything I'm doing to go make sure I'm going to a wedding that I was already uninvited to. And then you pull you're re-invited because, well, a couple people canceled. So now you're on, like, are you on tier 2?
Which is like, that is not what you say if you really, really want this person to go. You can't go, hey, listen, you know what? You were tier 2, or maybe even worse. You might have been tier 3 for all you know.
Everybody else said they couldn't come, so I'm coming to you now. You can show up. You can't bring a guest, but you can show up.
It's tough. It is really, really tough to be in a position where you're like, I had that with Sarah's wedding, but Sarah was clear what she wanted for her wedding. And she said, this is what I want.
Alcohol, and lots of it.
Alcohol and people that wouldn't judge.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted. And I'm like, okay. And that's,
and that's probably why, well, that's a major reason why it was so much fun.
Which is,
none of those judgmental fools there looking at us like we're idiots.
Not at all, dude. Her wedding was a love fest.
I mean, maybe the DJ, he was looking at us like we were
the
insane.
DJ thought we were out of our minds.
I don't know if he was looking at us like we were insane or just highly entertaining, but he kept filming everybody. And I feel like he was sharing that with all of his DJ friends.
Was.
Like, look at these idiots dancing to WAP at a wedding.
When a Vegas DJ, who in Vegas, they see it all, finds your thing a spectacle enough to record,
right?
You've done it, man. You know what? That's why Sarah's wedding was so great, because she basically said, Vegas, you think you're ratchet? I'll show you ratchet.
Like, I'd love to go stand up next to me. Like, what do you plan on doing with that video? I don't care you're videoing us, but I want to know what you plan on doing with that video. Why? Is this going on like your little demo reel? Like, look what I can do? Or is it going to your friends? Like, look at these idiots.
I say both.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a fun time. It was... For me, I'm granted, it's my kid's wedding, so of course I'm going to say it's great, but there weren't many old people there, and I have been to so many weddings that have old people, and I would say, Steve, outside of yours, because you had a magician and cupcakes,
Thank you.
I mean, I'm going to be biased. I don't know if
and
your wedding
ice sculpture.
Yeah, the ice sculpture, not so much. I didn't care about that.
Okay, fine.
But for your mother basically hand-delivering cupcakes to me and a magician, your wedding could be the worst wedding in history, but I will never see it that way because those two things just was like, this is so awesome.
That's all I remember. And even like, I was like, I wish we would we didn't do a video thing for our wedding. And I'm like, yeah, it would have been cool to get like a video montage of all the reactions of people watching The Magician. And she's like, no, I want a video of us getting married with the ceremony part. I'm like, I don't care about that part. I want the street magic, man.
And really, it was so...
He's setting things on fire. He's pulling things out of his eyes.
It was great.
Awesome.
But, dude, seriously, the image of your mother, like, seeking me out in a crowd going...
With a box of cupcakes.
BJ, I wanted to make sure... And I'm like, oh, you are such a sweet human being. Because she was spot on. She was like, she was right. I would love those cupcakes, and I would have taken as many as anyone would have given me. And she made sure I got them.
Yes.
So that, to me, is why your wedding is up there, man. It's one of the toppers. And my daughters. No old people to be miserable. And it was such a love fest. Like, all of her friends were so nice, and just every table I went to, they were just cool. And, I'm like, okay, I'm happy that I did not have some people that I know in my life that were older and crotchetier. I'm so happy they weren't there.
My only complaint about Sarah's wedding, I don't think I've ever shared this, but I feel like it needs to be said.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
There was no chicken dance.
She was never going to have that.
Look at her.
That might have been a conversation.
In all fairness, that was one of the battles I had to lose in my wedding as well. It's like, babe, at what point are we playing the chicken dance song in this? I'm looking at our DJ song list. Where's this? And she's like, it's not happening. I was like, are you kidding me?
I'm with you, dude. How does this not happen? But
did you imagine a bunch of drunk people in Vegas after listening to WAP? Then we switched into that.
That's the perfect back-to-back. Like, I wish that's a segue that needs to happen at every wedding,
right?
What we should have done is just sit in the corner and played it on our phones all at the same time and started the chicken dance.
Oh, there's so many great back-to-backs that you could do with some of the inappropriate hip-hop songs that Sarah threw on there, but then have the chicken dance, and then with the electric slide or whatever, all the whatever, celebrate maybe, but then next thing it's basically songs like WAP after that. Those are some good segues, man. Oh yeah.
Look at Karen's like, no.
She's so mad right now.
I know. And also we were at a wedding, and Sarah and I were at this other wedding, and they played Hot and Cold by Katy Perry, which I have a whole routine that I do. and it on the dance floor.
Wait, what you do?
Oh yeah, you got a whole hot and cold routine that I do.
Can we see it?
No, not right now. You can't.
He's not all warmed up. He's got to stretch for this.
He's hot and he's cold. Yeah. You know, I gotta. Basically, I get. I do the shiver mood when she says cold,
right?
And I do the wipe my brow when it's like sweaty, like when it's hot.
Yeah.
And then of course you're yes, and I say yes, and you're no. Then I go up and down. In and out.
See, you can't have him do this at 7:30 in the morning.
It's perfect. Now, I'm gonna break a leg if I try it. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to blast it. And I was like, Sarah, we got to have this at your wedding. And she was like, no. That was the only request I had, was to have Katy Perry's Hot and Cold at her wedding so I could dance to it with her.
So I requested Katy Perry at our wedding. My wife's like, no, that's not going to happen
That's
either.
fair.
Yeah, and Katy would have showed up.
Oh, yeah.
Because she had an ice sculpture. She's big into ice sculptures.
Also, Sarah would like you to know, Steve, that she played cake for the cutting of the cake because of you, so you should feel special.
I got fired up. That was the only time I came anywhere near the dance floor. I heard it. I think I knocked over a couple people as I'm like, it's the cake song. That was awesome. I was so proud of you guys for that.
So she basically played a song for Steve at her wedding, but not one that I wanted.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, late night daddy in Vegas.
Yeah, you're right.
Gets what he wants.
Yeah, that's...
Someone said, I got married this summer and my wife busted out for her first dance with her dad.
See, that
dance.
I would have done.
It's amazing.
I didn't want to do a first dance with Sarah because I don't know. I know
it's awkward and it takes forever.
It's yes. And look, I've never danced with my daughter, so it felt so weird. That's just not something we've ever done.
Dancing with my mom at my wedding, it was like, can this song end, please? Why didn't I do an edit of the song? It was like 4 minutes of like, this is so weird. Even though like...
It is. It does. That tradition doesn't age well, if you ask me.
After about 2 minutes, you run out of you're talking and you're holding each other and just kind of like awkwardly swaying. And you're like, I'm kind of done doing this, Mom. She's like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's like I don't know why that was a thing. Maybe dancing wasn't like intimate and sexy the way I think it is now, but you only dance with someone you want to get busy with.
Oh, so I shouldn't have been doing the lambada with my mom? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, look, I didn't want to do
forbidden dance.
Any Oedipus complexes. I felt like I'll let you work out on your own time.
Could you imagine if that happened?
Oh, that would be, That would be, it would be amazing. It would be a hell of a spectacle. I would love to watch it and not know these people. That would be amazing. But at the same time,
I think if I saw that at a wedding, I'd have to go straight to the bar and do like 5 shots to forget I even witnessed that.
I don't know if you know this, but I guess the average person possesses nearly 3,000 of these. What is it? I'll tell you. At 7:50 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I have lots of tickets that I haven't paid. Can those be discharged through a bankruptcy?
Yes, there are some limits on what we can do with tickets. Tickets cannot be discharged in a full bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7 case, that won't help you get your license back. But in Chapter 13 reorganization, tickets are dischargeable. Most types of tickets are dischargeable. So you would have to pay back some of the tickets in a Chapter 13 case, but the vast majority of them could be discharged if you complete the plan. And again, you would get your license back right away when you filed the Chapter 13 case, as long as the only reason you don't have your license is because of failure to pay your tickets. But the Chapter 13 process will help you get your license back and repay a small portion of your tickets in most cases, and get your license reinstated almost immediately.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
When it comes to personal style, it's all about layers, especially now. Add layers to your fall style with new colors, fabrics, and styles from Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code PODCAST to get 10% off any purchase $3.99 or more.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock. of Seattle. All right, we got a new poll that found out that the average person has currently 2,795 photos on their phone. Is there a way to figure that out, Vicky, real quick?
Oh, yeah.
How many photos you have?
Let's go to your pictures.
Yeah.
And then look at, and then just kind of hit that albums on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it'll show you all your albums and like your recent photos will kind of give you an idea of how many pictures you have.
Okay. Oh, my God.
How many you got? It's probably more than 3,000.
Oh, way more.
Oh, it's same. Dude, I have a 4-year-old, almost 4-year-old, a toddler. I have way more than, I might have 3,000 in one day sometimes. If we do something, I'm kidding, but you know, I have way too many. Are you above 20 grand?
No, and I thought I was a lot. So 20, you're closer to 20 grand than me then?
Oh, yeah.
20,000 photos?
I have, do you want to know how many pictures I have?
I have 9,000.
Ooh, 9,000. Wow.
I know, but apparently I'm a loser compared to Steve and Shirley, but I mean, I'm above average with America.
I'm more of a loser than you are, so there you go.
You have Lily and you still have less than 3,000?
Yeah, but all of Lily's pictures get pushed to my my Dropbox.
See, I started that, and like year one, I'm about like 9 months in of the pictures of her as she's. And my goal was, but now I'm at almost 4 years in. I got a lot of. I want to do every month a different Dropbox folder, and I haven't been very good at that, obviously.
Can you automatically push it to your Dropbox, or you have
I do it myself.
Oh,
I mean, you could.
I never thought of doing that.
But then it'll put all of your pictures. You know what I mean? Like as you take them, it'll automatically upload them.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I am. How much do you think?
Okay, well, all right. Danny's less than me. Vicky,
I'm more than you.
you're more than me. All right. Well, let's get your number then, because I think Steve's going to have the bigger number.
15,052.
Wow.
15,000.
5 times the average American. You. And yet, Steve.
More than that.
More than that.
More than that.
Yeah.
Joey or Sarah, anybody better than 15,000?
I'll bring Sarah in.
Sarah sent us her number, but she can go. But yeah, she has more.
No, I'm only 3,300.
Yeah. Oh, Joe.
3,300?
Joe's a little above average, but he's right there.
Joe doesn't take any pictures.
That may change, though. You know, as you know, Joe, you know, he's got that, you know, you never know, you know, he's got a little something going on, maybe a little something with somebody. Might be more pictures now. All right, Sarah, we'll see who beats who. Do you think you beat Steve, or do you think, or you lost to Steve? Because he's kind of saying he's close to 20. He named in that number 20. What do you think?
I am embarrassed by my number, but I actually think Steve is going to beat me.
Oh, all right, so I think we should take yours first.
Okay.
I have 26,758.
Oh my God, that is unbelievable.
And I really don't think I take like that many pictures.
That evil laugh makes me think you're right, Sarah.
Yeah.
26,000, and I think at 9, that's nuts.
I'm just bad at deleting them.
Same.
And
I take multiple pictures.
Of
so
the same
am I.
thing.
Yeah.
So I don't take a lot of pictures because I don't delete them ever.
Well, I think if I'm trying to take a cute selfie, I probably take like 20, and they look almost exactly the same, and I hate all of them, but I don't delete the 20 of them.
Yeah,
See,
you do
most
that,
aren't
yeah.
pictures of me. Most are just like different shots of Tatum. They're all pretty much the same picture, but I'm like, well, that one, she's got a cute smile, and that one, you know, she almost looks like she's flipping me the bird. I want to keep that one.
Well, she's probably moving a lot too,
Yeah.
so you're probably just like rapid fire.
You guys don't remember what it was like to have to go, look, I've only got 32 pictures
I know.
on this. I have to make sure I take the right picture.
I kind of miss those days.
Yeah, man.
I feel like we need a drum roll sound effects for Steve's number.
All right, here we go. So Sarah's at 26,000, and Steve, we believe.
And we're going with like the recents, right?
That's what I am.
I think you're at least in the 30s.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Maybe even 40s.
Oh my God, I'm not going to guess at this point because I see Steve's email, and Steve's email's insane. So I imagine his pictures have to be up in that level.
I'm a digital pack rat.
You really are.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to Price Is Right this? Sarah, what do you say? What do you say for Steve?
I'm going to say 42,000.
Woo! Danny, what do you say?
42,000.
Ooh, I'm going to say, you said 42. I'm going to say 31.
All right, Danny, what are you? I'm going last.
I'm going 35,000.
All right,
35,000.
Joey.
36,069.
Oh, I do like that one.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to say 45,000.
Well, so you can't go over, right? Is that all right? So congratulations, Joey Breadsticks.
Yeah.
You almost nailed it to the T.
Oh, wow.
I have 38,580 recent pictures.
Oh, my gosh.
Good job, Joey.
Pictures, because they go back many years.
Man, That's a lot of pictures.
That's just pictures. You want to know how many videos I have?
Oh, gosh. I didn't even count those. Oh, yeah. How many videos?
2,574 videos.
Oh, man.
And they're all probably like 3 seconds long.
There are a lot of, it's either Tatum or video captures from my wrestling matches that I make into like little montage things.
It's funny because I think about the videos because it's like, back when we were kids, like my mom used to, if you're going to pull out the video recorder, the big thing that sits on your shoulder or whatever, it would be like at least a 5-minute video. I don't have any videos of Lily of that go more than a minute. Like they're all super, okay, do that,
10 seconds.
It's cute, and then you stop.
Ballet has been really the death of me. Because I just take so many damn pictures, so many videos. Because they do like a little freestyle at the end, and I always video it because I think it's hilarious.
I will say, though, for people who are trying this at home, it doesn't count your hidden pictures. I checked.
Well, I don't have any hidden pictures.
Yeah, I have like 2,000 hidden pictures.
2,000?
Oh, my God.
So these are pictures that you definitely wouldn't want anybody in this room to see. That's a lot
except Sarah.
That's a lot of Vicky's body everywhere. Wow.
Or other dudes.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I didn't
That's where I keep their stuff.
Okay.
Types brought up a good point also. When you have a toddler, they end up taking a bunch of pictures. Yeah, there are times where I'm like, why do I have 80 pictures on my, because I was like doing something and she just picks it up and just hits the button like on a rapid burst. And I'm like, I have 80 pictures of her nostril. This is crazy.
Well, you know what? I mean, she wants you to remember her.
And I save them. I try and delete those. I'm just terrible at deleting pictures.
Yeah.
But like, you look at mine, it's all Tatum.
Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised. See, the Tatum or you in action in the ring.
But 99% of it is.
How many do you
Tatum.
have of your wife? I mean,
she's there next to Tatum.
Okay, that's at least okay. That's important.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to give equal time to the people you love in life.
Yeah, before that, I mean, I still had a lot of pictures, but it was manageable.
35,000.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Or 36,000.
I felt bad for
38,000.
38,000. Okay, then.
Someone says I have 86,000 on my phone.
Oh, wow. You've got yourself the biggest phone. I guess, I mean, if it's all in your phone and not in the cloud.
85,420 to be exact. Another person says, what the F storage option do you have on your iPhone, Steve? I got one of the big ones.
Yeah, you guys.
It's not the biggest, but it's one of the big ones.
I think you're going to have to next time.
I'm going bigger.
You got to go bigger, man. You know what your life is like now, picture-wise.
And I always say, next time we have a couple days off, I'm just going to go through my phone, put the ones in the Dropbox I need. But now it's like a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I know. I say the same thing. And I still have like hard copy pictures that I haven't sorted in my life. And I mean, I'm going to it's going to have to be when I no longer have a job. It's the only time that it's like when you're retired, or maybe if you're laid up and you're going to miss a bunch of weeks because of an illness. It's the only time you can do something like that.
You know what I really want to do at the end of the day is just do one of those like books, like where you upload the pictures and it turns into like a little picture book.
Oh yeah,
because like I mean, there's going to come a day where I'm not going to want to sit with my kid and be like, let's scroll through the phone and look at all the fun pictures. But if we had like I remember when it would be like a fun thing we do when I go back to visit family, like they'd pull out the photo albums and we'd all share stories and talk about the pictures that are in the photo album.
Yeah.
And you really can't do that with a cell phone.
No. And especially if you're like Sarah and you have the wrong pictures in the wrong place.
Yeah, you don't want that. Typically, you don't going to have that in a photo album.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. At least I hope you won't. I mean, Vicky's photo album, the hidden photo album, she might have those pictures in there.
So since I got 7,000, I guess I'm a lightweight.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
I
miss those days.
I thought 9,000 was like excess, and it turns out no, because again, the average person only $27.95 on their phone. And people basically snap a picture only 6 times per day. Steve, I think you did it 6 times in this conversation.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, Tatum just does something silly. I'm like, I got to get pictures of that. I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little obsessive with this.
I do love like looking back on when I first started on this show, and you guys would always tell me about all the pictures I take of Lily. And then the minute I found out Steve was having a kid, I was like, just you wait.
You're right.
What's going to happen?
You're right, Danny.
Yep. All of a sudden, I subscribe to extra iPhone storage or the iCloud storage because of just that reason.
But you don't even think about it, right? Like you just don't even think that you're going to take that. I will never be that. I don't need 15 pictures of the same thing.
Yeah, you do.
Like, no, but all of a sudden you do, because they do like 80,000 cute things in a minute.
And I give myself a hard time about it, but then all of a sudden you get those memories from like a year ago, 2 years ago, because they're on your phone. Like they sometimes pop up with like that photo sharing memory, and I'm like, man, it puts a big smile on my face because I'm like, oh yeah, that was.
I do like that feature.
Yeah,
I do like that feature. Well, I mean, you guys are not different than me. I mean, look, it's friends, family, selfies, and pictures of our pets. That's what people are doing.
Speaking of my daughter, she just figured. I guess she has my wife's phone. because she just texted me.
Oh my!
It's all emojis.
It looks like she was.
I know, this is a text from Tatum.
Did she take a picture of like a pyramid wall? That's what it looks like. It's like now we have to decipher that message. What do all those glyphs mean?
Every single one.
Oh wow! Wow!
Text her back.
She did every single. So she intentionally said, "Let me do all of these."
Pretty much. I think she just had every emoji that's on my wife's phone and just texted it to me.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
That's so
she
great.
really did. Oh wow.
Yep, and I just got a text from my wife. I'm sorry, that was from Tatum.
Well, she just wanted to. Boy, she's going through a range of emotions, isn't she?
Tell her daddy's working and leave me the F alone.
Yeah, that's
mad emoji.
She'll be like,
Done.
BJ's influencing you too much. She really shouldn't be texting while working. Well, there you go. So the average is about 2,700 photos on your phone, and you take about 6 pictures per day.
That was the first month of my kid being born.
God, we are weird. I have to say, if this is the average, we are so bad. None of us are like it. Well, Joey's average.
I like to know that I'm above average in things.
You are way above average.
I dominate.
You are like, you're extremist at this point. I think we
It's a
should start
problem.
monitoring you is what I think.
You should take the phone away from me.
He is one of the biggest stars of pro wrestling, and he is at Climate Pledge Arena all weekend. And how cool is it? Because, of course, Aberdeen's own Bryan Danielson from the AEW joins us in studio at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
BJ, we're very excited to have our next guest on. He's here all weekend as All Elite Wrestling has 2 shows, AEW Collision on Saturday night and then the big pay-per-view Wrestle Dream on Sunday. Please welcome to the show one of the absolute best wrestlers of all time, Aberdeen's own Bryan Danielson.
Hey guys, how's it going?
You were talking off air, and it's just so awesome to know all the local connections that they're in basically wrestling entertainment. Of course, we're very, very proud of. How can't we be proud of this? Anybody who does good from our state, and what a career you've had, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean it's been a blast. I mean it's a real blessing, because I'm not somebody who you look at and would be like, hey, that guy should be a pro wrestler. Mm-hmm. And even my personality now is more like social and everything, but even like 18-year-old Bryan Danielson is very like, when you say like, hey, how's it going? Good. If you would have had me on this radio show when I was 18, you guys would have been, this is the worst guest we've ever had.
No future.
Yeah, no future.
I remember having you when you first, when you joined on WWE back in the day with NXT, and it was like they just announced all the people and one of the people was from Aberdeen. We're like, we have to talk to you. And it's just crazy to see like where it is from there to now. It's like, what an incredible jump.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just, life is a wild ride, and so it's had its ups and it's had its downs, but I think my life is overall better and more interesting because of pro wrestling. So, yeah.
That's good to hear, Bryan, because, I mean, obviously, look, the entertainment business is what it is. And, it can be very, very stressful. A lot of folks don't realize the level of stress of any form of entertainment. And what really I thought was amazing is that announcement you made recently where you're like, look, I made a promise to my kid, and it was powerful. And I thought, man, this guy is out doing his patter. He's out doing what we've seen wrestlers do for years, taking the mic and the stage, and he's doing his thing, getting the crowd going, but you're bringing in reality of your personal life. Like, I know it's like, this is also real. And that to me is a transformation in at least wrestling and maybe, who knows, the other forms of entertainment, like the blending of the two. And Bryan, how did you do that? Because I feel like in the world of entertainment, you have a job, and sometimes they go, look, why don't you keep your personal stuff over there and do your job? And you were able to blend the two by saying, look, I made a promise to my kid, and I feel like that is a real thing you did in your real life.
Yes, it is a real thing. And also, I am not a great actor. I have no interest in acting whatsoever. And it's one of those things where if I don't feel something to be true, I can't go out there and do it. Or I'm not that I can't go out there and do it. I will go out there and do it. But I need to have some sort of connection to something before I go out there and do it. And so, yeah, and this is a very real thing. For me, this is my last full-time year of wrestling. And what my life looks like outside of wrestling after that year, we don't exactly know. I don't know. I would kind of like to disappear, right? This idea of I don't think my temperament is good for necessarily the public eye. Like, I don't like being recognized, that sort of thing. And not that people are great. Wrestling fans are great. And they're always so nice when they come up and say hi and that sort of thing. But I don't know. What really kind of made it happen was being in the WWE machine, and then you're in the spotlight so much. And I always loved wrestling, and I loved the idea that I could go wrestle, and these 500 people at these independent shows would be like, yeah, you're the best. And then I go to the airport and nobody knows who I am. And even when I was like the top independent wrestler in the entire country, I could go back to Aberdeen and not a single person cared. Right. They didn't care that I was a professional wrestler at all. And I like that, because then they're not coming in with any sort of expectations, or they just like you because like you have just regular conversations. How are your kids? How are this? How are that? Or whatever. And then, which are more meaningful to me than necessarily talking about like, oh, that wrestling match you had was awesome, right? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's great. But I'd like to blend into the background a little bit more.
And talk some Seahawks.
Talk some Seahawks, yeah. I'm going to my first Kraken game tonight, which is awesome. Yeah. And so it's like, so there's that part of it. And then also just spending time with my wife and kids, because, our kids are growing so fast. I mean, our daughter's 6, our son's 3, and just like, I'm gone for 10 days, and I come back, and my son's different. He said the F word.
What? Wow, he said fridge.
He said,
without you being there.
He said fridge multiple times, and I immediately blamed my wife, as a good husband
Maybe you
should.
shouldn't put all the food in there. The kid loves the fridge.
But apparently he learned it from 2 kids at school, and when he said it, and then my wife's reaction was, "Buddy, you cannot say that." Well, then of course he's just going to say it more and more and more and more.
Kids are just, they're just trolls.
Yeah,
they are. And if you're like every father, how do you? He knows deep down, even though you're saying no, Dad really kind of is getting a kick out of this.
Well, and
every dad has that.
Well, and because I'm on like either FaceTime or on the phone, so he can hear me. Like, all the cars have the Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff. So when my wife is calling me and he's in the car and she's telling me that he just keeps saying this word, and I'm laughing hysterically, he hears through the thing.
Yeah,
and
does.
So it's like,
they'll make Dad proud.
It just reinforces that, I should say this thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
And he knows. He's like, Mom, say what you want. Dad thinks I'm the man right now.
But you know what my wife did that was very smart? She goes, "No, buddy, you're saying it wrong. It's Fox." And he goes, "Fox?" So then he starts going, Fox, 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 Fox,
That's
Fox, Fox.
brilliant.
It was brilliant. I was like, and
all right, mental note. I'm
yes,
I have never heard that. Your wife should be like, is she a psychologist? I have never.
No, she's not.
Strategy.
She's like me. She has no formal education outside of high school.
That is brilliant.
It was a genius move.
Whoa.
A genius
I feel
move.
like maybe she got in trouble when she was a kid, and that was her. God, Mom, I didn't say that. I was talking about the animals outside.
Right, yeah.
It's ship. You're going to go on a ship.
Right.
Just remember, we're on a ship.
Yeah,
dude.
so because at first she reacted heavy, right? She was like, "No, you can't say that." And then it was like, "No," and then she stopped reacting to it whatsoever, and then just said, "Oh, buddy, you're saying it wrong. It's Fox." Fox? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fox. Fox. Dude, don't say Fox. And then now he's saying Fox.
One day he is going to be with his friends. Maybe he's going to be like a teenager, and he's going to be going, "You know what? You blanking people," but he's going to say it like Fox, and they're going to look at him and go, what?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's how you say it.
Yeah.
What do you mean? No, that's complete. You're all wrong. I'm saying it right.
Right, yeah.
I'm the bad parent, because whenever like our kid, like when she's now going to be 4 in December, but she would look at the clock in our house and she couldn't say clock.
Oh.
She would remove the L.
Yeah.
And say, "That's a big clock."
Yeah.
And I'm laughing.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, I'm encouraging this stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was really funny because our daughter, she loves foxes, like legitimately, like the red foxes, like this stuff. But she couldn't say fox. So she was trying to say fox, but would say the other one, or at least that's what it sounded like.
Oh,
and
man.
so
That's our kid with chips. but she says the S word. And I'm always like, what do you want? And then my wife's like, no, stop this.
I feel like, no, what do you want? We're talking to Brian Danielson again. AEW's Collision this Saturday, September 30th at Climate Pledge Arena, and AEW's pay-per-view Wrestle Dream this Sunday at Climate Pledge. Tickets, more info at allelitewrestling.com.
We need the entire arena chanting Fox.
Fox. My son would love it. Yeah.
And and Brian, you talked about the fact, of course, okay, you made that promise to your kid. You're like, look, when you turn 7, things are going to adjust. And it's interesting because, you're right. It's hard to tell people in a society where fame, money, power is really valued, and here you are, a person that you go, okay, you've experienced all of that, and yet you realize, you guys don't understand. You 9-to-5ers don't know how wonderful it is to just go home, be with the kids, go mow the lawn, and it's hard to tell anybody who'd be like, come on, dude, what do you because they've never experienced it. Yet you do see. Man, the wrestling's fun, but man,
yeah, and also, so one of the things too is the travel and the toll the travel takes on my body.
Yeah,
and then also, when you get home after you leave on a Friday, you do a collision on a Saturday, you come home on the Sunday, you're exhausted, and we live on the West Coast, so it's like we're mostly traveling. Most wrestling shows are East Coast or Central Time, which is why it's so great being here in Seattle, right? But it's but the long flights and everything, then you get home and then you're just kind of residually tired from that, and it takes you a day or two to recover from that, especially as I get older. And it's like, I want to show up for my kids in the best way possible. And I also think that, I don't know, I was never attracted to wrestling because of the fame or money. And I honestly, when I look back, I don't even think I thought I was going to be successful. I had this great teacher named Dr. Carter, in Aberdeen, my junior and senior year of high school. And he, all my other teachers, because I was a really good student, I learned very easily. And all my other teachers were like, you shouldn't wrestle, you should go to college, you should do this thing, and that sort of thing. And Dr. Carter was the one person who was like, do you know what? I can see that you have this passion for this thing. Go out and do it. College will always be there for you. You'll always be able to go back to college. But he, after high school, went into the Peace Corps. And he said because he didn't go straight to college, he spent several years in the Peace Corps. And then after that, he learned more about himself, and he learned more about what he wanted to do. And then he went back to college then and got his PhD in teaching. And that's how much he loved it. And so he said, even if you're not successful, you're going to learn more about yourself by going and doing this thing. Because I even look at it now. I look at 18-year-olds. You spend so much money to go to college. And how are you supposed to know what you want to do when you're 18?
So true.
It seems like if you could go and do something adventurous, or do something where you're going to learn, or do something that's helpful for other people or helpful for the earth or whatever it is, and you learn about yourself, then, okay, if you go to college at 24, 25, you're going to have a much better, deeper understanding of what you want out of life.
Brian, that is such great wisdom because, everybody gets so wrapped up in the fact that we've got to get you into a college, and the machine starts probably your sophomore year, maybe even earlier than that. And it is so true, man. It is so awesome that somebody in your life was able to cut through and go, dude, I see what you're jazzed about. Go do that, as opposed to, oh no, you've got to be like them or you're a failure. And I saw that in my kids, and I think it's so important for parents to recognize that their children, and look, if they're your kids, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. And I knew that my wife and I are not 9-to-5ers, so I just knew I cannot push my kid to that 9-to-5 world. That is not who we are. That's not who they are. So awesome that somebody recognized that in you, because you are definitely not a 9-to-5er either.
Well, do you know what? I think my temperament is more 9-to-5. Yeah.
What are you doing in the not 9-to-5 world?
So I will say this. I like going to bed early. I like getting up early. I like rigid schedules. Like, I think most humans, and this is, with you both having kids do better when they have a schedule, right? A regular schedule. But I think that's all of us, right? I think we all do better with a regular schedule. So that said, I like kind of the idea of 9-to-5. One of the things that I think is a real blessing in my life as a pro wrestler where I don't do it is that when I'm home with my kids, I'm completely home with my kids. So even though I miss like 2.5 days, the blessing is other than those 2.5 days, like I'm not worried about, okay, I got to go to, and my dad was a logger, right? So he was a log scaler in Aberdeen. So like when he would go to work, and he was great when before my parents got divorced. He would come home and he would play with us. He would do board games with us, but you could just kind of tell
him already.
He's got that X amount of time where he'll have energy, and then he's got to go to sleep and then get up at 4:30 in the morning to go log scaling, right? And so it's like my mom, same thing. She had to work after they got divorced. She had to work 2 jobs, and she had to go to college and all that kind of stuff. And so the blessing is being able to be with my kids and just be completely present. And that's And so and the thing about not being a full-time wrestler is that I get to be completely present more. So
that's the question. Bryan Danielson again this Saturday, September 30th, Climate Pledge Arena, AEW's Collision. Then on Sunday, it's AEW's pay-per-view, Wrestle Dream. Again, all the tickets, all the info, allelitewrestling.com. And we're talking to Bryan Danielson, Aberdeen's own. So you make the promise to your kid. And at the same time, look, it's in your blood. And look, we've seen so many people. I mean, Tom Brady, I still think he probably was like, can I just go down and throw a football?
Right.
When you're in it, it is so hard to leave it. So I saw your speech that you made, and it was very open-ended. I loved it. It was like, this guy is telling me nothing except don't. I mean, look, I want to make my kid happy, but if you think I'm going to walk away from this completely, but at the same time, I'll do it. And I'm like, okay, so... I mean, I love the idea that, like Motley Crue, I don't believe they're ever going to retire. I don't believe you're ever going to retire.
Yeah. So one of the things is mentally for me, making this last year of full-time wrestling, making every match mean more, not to other people, but to myself, right? Like, okay, I have a limited time frame to do this at the scale that I'm doing it. Right. And so that means don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because doing this job is a blessing, and I'm lucky to be able to do it. And so for example, I've come to Seattle, right, with WWE. I did some independent shows in Washington before that, but I've never had like a big match in Seattle, right? Like a match that's
really?
Like there's never, all those times with WWE, there was never a time where I had like a big match. And now on Sunday, I'm wrestling Zack Sabre Jr. And there's a kind of a debate amongst hardcore wrestling fans. Who's a better technical wrestler between me and Zack Sabre Jr.?
Yeah, to get extra nerdy for you, BJ, like there's an award that's given to a wrestler that's considered the best technical wrestler, and it's called the Bryan Danielson Award.
Really?
And the guy who's been winning it is Zack Sabre Jr., who's incredible. I love watching that.
To be fair, last year I won the Bryan Danielson Award because who's going to out Bryan Danielson?
I would say it's rigged if they don't give it to you. But yeah, so here's a guy who's like, while Bryan wasn't around, was like the next Bryan Danielson, and now we're going to have that match here in Seattle on Sunday, and it's bonkers.
Yeah, and
I love that.
As a wrestling nerd, I'm freaking out about it.
And in a lot of ways, from a technical wrestling standpoint, he is better than me. And I see the stuff that he's doing. And
he's such a douche too.
Yeah, he is. Do you know what he is? He's from England, so it's the accent. So when he says things, he just sounds. When they sound like super pompous,
condescending.
Yeah, the super pompous and looking down on you New Worlders or whatever it is. Like you guys couldn't hack it in England, so you
beat his ass.
Migrated.
Yeah. Beat his ass for America.
Yeah, do it, USA.
Brian, I love this text that says, when will the matchup between Bryan Danielson and Steve Migs happen? I think people will pay big money to see Bryan kick Steve in the head repeatedly for
I would.
We'll save that for the VFW halls.
Okay, yeah.
If you see a masked man repeatedly kicking me in the head, that's what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually kind of what I figure my after this year looks like, is me like calling up a promoter, like the Defiant promoter, and being like, hey, I'm in town this week. Can I... the week that you have a show, can I come wrestle? And he'd say, of course. Can we promote you? No, you cannot. And I don't even want people to know it's me.
Yeah.
I just get a full bodysuit, come out there and wrestle completely different than Bryan Danielson has ever wrestled, and go do my thing, get my jollies from doing it. Like I love, because I still, at 42 years old and having wrestled for October 4th will be the 24th year.
Wow.
This last week.
I feel like it was just yesterday we were going, here's this new dude.
Yeah,
Wow.
and so it's been 24. It'll be 24 years next week, and I still love doing it. And but I one of the other things that I haven't brought up here is part of it too is my body, right? Like I'm getting, I've been doing this for so long, and I wrestle a hard style, right? And so it's getting
super intense. Yeah,
and it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, I have to look after my long-term health as well, and then because I want to be there because we had kids. Older, you would understand, and so
when they run off and you have to get up, it's like this sucks.
No, this is what I'm thinking.
Come back.
What I'm thinking is like I first kind of like tested my dad when I was like 15, right? And so but if my son does that when he's 15. I'm going to be in my mid 50s.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
and really sore.
And really sore. And like all these things. And I'm, in my head, I'm like, oh, hopefully I can still like sprawl on him or like whizzer and just get him down into the ground so he doesn't try it again till he's 18. But even still, it's going to be, so yeah, I want to be able to be there and play with my kids and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so.
Well, Brian, I know you got lots going on and a lot to do to get ready. We would be here for hours talking with you. You're always a great guest, and we're just so happy. Again, because you're a Washington kid, so we're always going to be happy for you. But what a terrific career, which will end whenever you want it to. But I love that you're going out and doing it in your style. Plus, you got a lot of wisdom that I think that you, just what we've talked about today, you're going to pass along to anybody who wants to do anything that involves passion and putting passion first, putting the love and joy of it first. And they always say the other stuff will come as long as you don't focus on other stuff. And well, you're living proof.
Yeah, for sure. And then and then one other thing, because I know Seattle loves supporting natives. I think one of the coolest things about AEW and All Elite Wrestling, and you'll be able to see them all on Sunday and Saturday. I don't know if you'll see everybody on Saturday, but you'll definitely see everybody on Sunday, is that we have so many people from Washington on the AEW roster, which is so cool. Yeah. And we were just talking before we came on air about Aubrey, who's a referee. Yeah. She was there when I had to retire in the Key Arena, right?
She's the gif of the girl crying.
Yeah, she's the gif of the girl crying. We've got Darby Allin, we've got Nick Wayne, we've got Swerve, and like we all have either grown up here or have ties to this area, and that's really unique because this hasn't been historically a place where a lot of wrestlers come from, and now there is, and I just think that that's cool, and it's very specific to AEW, and so that's really cool, and so I'd like to invite everybody.
Kind of like the local music scene in a sense. Like it's a community. It's never been a competition. It's more of a community. I feel like that's also with wrestling.
Yes,
there's a lot of guys want to see each other do well because we're all coming from the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, and I mean the odds when I grew up, there weren't any Pacific Northwest wrestlers, right? There wasn't any hometown hero that we had.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he was legitimately from Seattle. I think it just sounded good, right? Oh, he's from Seattle, and I don't know because I've never taken it as being like, oh, that guy's from Seattle. He's super hard. Like he's like a super tough guy. Like not that we're anti-tough, but we're not. It's not like
he's hanging out with Brutus the Barber. Beefcake. It's like what is going on here?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great opportunity and to support local wrestlers and all that kind of stuff too. So.
Yeah, and you've got two opportunities. I say go to both. AEW's Collision this Saturday, Climate Pledge. AEW's pay-per-view Wrestle Dream, Sunday at Climate Pledge. Tickets, info, allelitewrestling.com. Brian Danielson, thank you so much, man. Thank you for coming in, spending your time. This is part of what you've got to do, and we are so grateful that you do this as part of your job because we have such a great time talking with you.
Yeah, thank you. I had a blast too.
Have fun at the Kraken game.
Yes, yeah. All right, yesterday, Steve, you talk about competition. This was competition, even though we did get it wrong.
Susie Carmichael is a character from what animated children's show?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
No.
Sesame Street?
No.
Barney?
No.
Oh, Tommy Pickle's not happy with you. Rugrats was the show, buddy. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-803-ROCK. Beat Migs. We're doing it at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I know if bankruptcy is going to provide me with relief? What are the steps for my situation?
There's so much information out there about bankruptcy with the internet and what people have heard from friends and other people that they've talked to about their financial issues or bankruptcy. There's also a lot of bad information out there or urban legends about bankruptcy. In order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you need to talk to an attorney that's experienced in bankruptcy. So in order to determine whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, you should talk to an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And my job is not to convince you to file bankruptcy. My job is to help you to make that decision and have all the facts so that you can make an informed decision about whether bankruptcy makes sense for you, what benefits it's going to have for you, and what the downside of filing bankruptcy is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. So Friday, November 17th, got to put that on the calendar because it's 7 o'clock at night. Live Day goes to prom night.
Oh, finally, people don't have to take off from work, show up early, and get everything going before 6 in the morning. Now we show up at 7 p.m. on a Friday night, BJ, and we're dressing like we're going to prom.
Oh, it's going to be so good. No excuses anymore. Now you have time to go into the weekend in style. And it is going to be Live Day, which means sound effects, music, special guests, all of it done live, all of it broadcast here on The Rock. So it is going to be the Live Day you know and love. And like Steve said, dress up prom night style, baby. You want tickets? They're on sale now. snocasino.com.
Let's play B Migs. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. B Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, B Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to be Migs? Yeah. I know David from Yelmas. David, are you there?
I am.
All right, Steve, now get out of here.
All right, goodbye.
For those playing at home, David has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
When it comes to social media, the abbreviation SMP stands for social media what?
Profile.
No.
Platform.
Yes.
Nice.
What 2005 Nickelback song is the same name as an energy drink?
Rockstar.
Yes. Mr. Smee is a fictional character from what Disney movie?
Pass.
Paris, Dublin, and Naples are all cities in what U.S. state?
Pass.
The 45th season of what reality show aired last night?
45th.
Yep.
That's with stars.
No.
Pass.
Which video game system was the first to use DVD technology?
PS1.
No.
Xbox.
No.
Game Boy.
No. What 2010 movie starred Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis?
Black Swan.
Yes. Marine, giant, and sea are all types of what mammal?
Turtle.
No. Well, you didn't drop a deuce because you got 3 correct.
All right, that's something. And, you know, those shows that have multiple seasons in a year are always confusing because they haven't been around for 45 years, but they have had 45 seasons. That's
you
true.
know what show I'm talking about, too,
That's
don't
what
you?
Yeah, exactly. But and I know they haven't been around for 45 years, but that's what you think of when you think of that particular situation. But it's true. It's not. The answer is a correct one.
Yes, thank you. The question was right.
I know. I just like it ruined my whole world because that is not what that word used to mean in the world of entertainment.
Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to social media, the abbreviation SMP stands for social media what?
Presence.
No.
No, sir.
Professional.
No.
Social media person?
No. What 2005 Nickelback song is the same name as an energy drink?
Rockstar.
Yes. Mr. Smee is a fictional character from what Disney movie?
Mr. Shmee?
Mr. Smee.
I'm going to go with Sleeping Beauty.
No.
Snow White.
No.
Aladdin.
No.
Oh.
Paris, Dublin, and Naples are all cities in what U.S. state?
Idaho?
No.
Nope.
Paris, Dublin? I don't know. Nebraska?
No.
Washington?
No.
Oh.
The 45th season of what reality show aired last night?
Survivor.
Yeah. Which video game system was the first to use DVD technology?
Xbox.
No.
PlayStation.
No.
GameCube.
No. What 2010 movie starred Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis?
I think I would know it because that sounds like fun. I'll have to pass.
It
I have
was
no idea.
fun. Wow. Marine giant and sea are all types of what mammal?
Whale?
No.
Urchin?
No.
Whoa.
Steve,
Did I even
you
get one right?
dropped a deuce.
I got two right. All right. Better than I thought.
But that's a loss, 3-2.
It was a pitcher's duel. Good job, David.
Yes.
I am shocked. I did not think there was going to be a win there. So, David, thank you for that, brother.
Those were hard.
I mean, I guess so, because y'all both didn't do good.
But you know what, though? You do. I'll give you this. You deserve that, buddy. You worked hard. I would have won today. Not by much, but I would have.
I was going to say, I don't think you're going to know all these. The first question, you're going to kick yourself.
Yeah.
David got it correct. SMP stands for social media platform.
Platform.
I probably wouldn't have got that. So I'm
Now
not
you
gonna,
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
but
sense.
I'm not going to say I would have got that one.
Danny Vicky, Mr. Smee is a fictional
I
character
know
from what
this
Disney
too.
movie? Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
I wanted to say it before you guys so you couldn't think I was just being a chump about it. So that would have been one right there for me.
Okay. What about Paris, Dublin, and Naples are all cities in what U.S. state?
I would go Florida or Georgia.
No, we actually were there last month.
Dallas? I mean, Texas?
Texas.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed Texas. I wouldn't have guessed
U.S.
Texas.
state, y'all.
We're both
Jeez.
dummies.
Okay, wouldn't have got that.
So happy you got Survivor.
Yo, I would have got that.
So I read something that people are not happy with the new season already.
Really?
Well, it just started.
Please, Steve.
No spoilers.
Do not. I
Not
haven't
even.
watched it yet.
I haven't read anything other than someone saying they don't like the cast.
Ooh, well,
And
I
there's
will
a couple-
let you know what I think.
Yeah, some people are like, we need to just scrap this season of Survivor and start over again.
How could the cast be that bad that people want them out?
I saw a couple posts about it in like an article, and
Whoa.
no spoilers. I don't know anything else other than people are not happy with the
Are
cast.
you watching it tonight?
Or
sometime?
I will.
Okay, let us know what you think of the cast.
I will.
I've never heard of such a thing
And
where
they're unhappy
people-
about Janet getting kicked off, apparently. I'm kidding. I have no idea. I'm kidding.
Steve.
What if there's someone named Janet? I'm going to
Dude,
go
I
really
mean, if
bad.
somebody named Janet actually got
Please
kicked
tell
off,
me.
Sarah's going to hate you forever.
I hope there's someone named Janet. I just made up a name.
I also just need you to, like, in a few weeks, or I'll let you know maybe when the finale is, put it in your calendar to not talk about it
No,
until
he's
I
going
watched
to,
it.
Sarah.
Because if no one knows, Steve has spoiled the Survivor finale for the past, I think, 3 seasons for
No,
me.
I haven't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you have.
Just last season.
Dude,
No.
there are multiple seasons. There are multiple seasons in a year, so you don't know. 3 in a row, you have been. Really
This will be
bad.
the last time I speak of the S word.
That's not
I don't
true.
believe you for 2
He's
seconds.
a troll. He is going to just start throwing names around of all the people that are probably the final 3, and he'll just start saying stuff, and you're going to go, oh, I don't want to know it. Yeah, he'll do
Who's
it.
Hannah?
Hannah? She's
she's
the one
fun.
with the banana.
Is she beautiful?
She's a good look.
Oh, she
With the tats.
does.
I mean, she got the tats and the glasses. She's trying to get you and me signed.
Well, I don't want to get involved in that.
I know, but I mean, I like the glasses look. You like the tats look.
And for anyone that cares, Survivor and The Amazing Race are now 90-minute episodes.
I did hear
Very
that.
excited about it.
Maybe that's why.
Is that
Maybe
too
it's-
much?
That could be why people are hating on it. Maybe it's just too much of everything. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have 90, like they have 30 more minutes to, I guess, hate the cast.
Yeah.
So
There's nobody named Janet on the show.
Is there still?
sure.
Are there still this? Well, that's the thing. Will there be the same number of episodes? Because if they've just made the episodes longer, I can see why you might hate on people more because you're getting more of them.
Is this spoiling it if I say where someone's from? Because I'm kind of fired up.
No, you can say that.
There's a dude from Seattle.
Oh.
All right. And he's tied for the youngest castaway on Survivor Season 45. His name's Brandon Meyer.
Oh.
That's so cool.
Okay.
On Big Brother, there was a guy from Seattle and a guy from Omak, Washington.
I guess
That's pretty cool.
he's a software developer in Seattle. He wasn't originally from here. Spoiler alert.
Oh, well, then get him off the show.
He just
we
moved
want
here.
We want True Blue.
Well, hopefully he does well. If not, then that's embarrassing.
Yeah, well.
Does anyone know the video game console or system that was first to use DVD technology? You
Can we just say
and David both kind of were very close.
Do you have to say the exact system? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why then I would never get it
Steve
right.
and David said PlayStation.
I would have said the PS2.
Yes.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure if you were going for that or not, but I would have said it anyway just to be sure.
2010 movie that starred Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis.
Oh, he knows this.
I don't.
He didn't.
Oh, but the other dude did.
Black Swan.
And I knew that one.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really don't. You think it would be a fun movie based on what you think, and it's not.
Don't they do love each other though?
Yeah, but there's other I don't know if that's enough to make that misery of the movie palatable.
I'd just rather click on the thumbnail than
That's
watch some
fair.
artsy-fartsy film with two hot chicks.
That's what I mean. It's not miserable as a movie, like it's a bad movie, but there's just it feels like there's misery in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's it's not enough to see two attractive women. They can't balance that out. It's just too much. Ugh.
And marine giant and sea are all types of what mammal?
Otter.
Otter is correct.
Who wins?
Wow,
This
you
guy.
would have won for sure.
I want to kick their asses. Give me you know what? Give me the Brian
Otter?
Danielson.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Otter. Yeah. Well, I'm doing it for Michael Gambon, the Harry Potter actor who passed away. Dumbledore's dead again.
Wow.
Dumbledore died twice.
Let's bring it up.
Hashtag Dumbledore dead again.
Oh. Well, congratulations, Steve, on losing.
Yeah. Sorry, Steve.
Thanks.
Feel bad about it.
It was a sad performance for both of you guys.
It is time for Listeners on the Loose. Your time, yeah. You get to pick the topic. You get to guide the show. You can call us. You can text us at 206-803-ROCK. We got your calls. We got your texts at 917 on the Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on the Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Listeners on the Loose. Brought to you by Home Depot. 206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text. Remember, Steve's got a rule.
It's a simple rule, and that's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text.
Someone just said, hey, because it's Ask a Stupid Question Day, I feel like I need to do my part.
Yes.
Inspired by Mr. Deeds and his Hawaiian Punch water fountain, what would your personal water fountain be? I was thinking Guinness, but I've got two young ones running around, LOL.
Okay, I was getting lost in
Is
a
that
minute
Mr. Deeds?
there.
Is that the Adam Sandler movie? Yeah. I forgot about that movie.
And he had a Hawaiian Punch water fountain.
I forgot that part too. Hell, I forgot the whole movie.
Okay, I think you guys know what mine would be.
Yours would... is it
we talked
rum and
about
Cokes?
Okay, see, you are thinking
Booze.
a beverage, but it's a fountain, and it can be flowing like a fountain.
Chocolate?
No, Krispy Kreme glaze.
Are you going to drink it?
Yes. And then I'll bathe in it.
Excuse me.
Oh, dude.
You almost broke Steve with
Dude,
that one.
I just picture him with like a cup, and he just fills it up and then just starts slurping it down.
Dude, the sugar addiction is real. I would drink a cup of that stuff. I love Krispy Kreme glaze so much.
I know it's great on a donut, but do you think it would be good just to drink it on its own?
You may be right that it isn't, but I sure want to try.
I honestly feel like you should just do this, and that might kick your sugar obsession, because it was the same way.
Like shadle it?
Yeah, no, like literally the way I used to be obsessed with Dairy Queen, and then I went and I worked there, and I just got tired of it.
But I don't want to hate Krispy Kreme.
Well, I'm just saying you always complain that you're eating too many, so
that's true.
Just drink a cup of the glaze.
Just have him lay down and just dump it into his mouth.
Exactly.
Okay. When's the bad stuff start happening?
I want to answer this guy's stupid question, but I have a follow-up stupid question.
Okay.
So for me, I'm torn. I think I would go with remember when we went to the Kraken game and they had that Pink Whitney on tap?
Yes, I do.
I kind of want that.
That'd be awesome.
Right? That'd be so delicious. But that would just be more for drinking, for have a good buzz going. If it's just a regular drink, I'm a sucker for a Diet Coke.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I love
that.
Diet Coke.
Look, that is my beverage of choice too. Just casually, I love Diet Coke too.
But I don't know if I would enjoy it out of a fountain. I'm overthinking this because I really enjoy it in the can the most.
Well, is it McDonald's machines that are really amazing for Coca-Cola products? So if the fountain can have the same piping that McDonald's does,
That'd be dope.
Because man, the Coke products do taste good out of a Mickey D's. And I don't know why nobody else can figure out why and make it work.
If I had to go, kid friendly, I've really been into the Arnold Palmers lately, but the pre-made ones. So you can do half lemonade, half iced tea. Those just really
Arnold
been hitting
Palmers
the
are
spot.
legit.
But if I'm going adult, I'm going to pick my dad's margarita mix with tequila.
He makes his own margarita mix?
So he takes a store-bought margarita and then he adds to it. So it's less acidic, it's tastier, it's a nice complement to the tequila.
Does it matter what kind of margarita mix, or he just grabs whatever and then...
Usually it's the Costco brand, but I think he's gone others before.
I have to tell you, if he makes a drink that you love out of a mix, now granted, I haven't had a mix, like a packaged mix drink in a long time, but I remember in the old days they were so bad.
Yeah, it definitely needs, some triple sec, some other
So he's
fresh
able to
ingredients.
really fudge it up, just like if somebody does a good job with tuna helper and hamburger helper.
Or even like cake box mix.
Yeah.
Cake box mix, you can make some delicious stuff with that.
Yeah, some people can take like ramen noodles, they add an egg to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he usually gets like a huge vat of it, and we make it for the summer. We just haven't yet, so we might have to make it for the winter. Who knows?
So what you're saying is I should get some margarita mix it in with my Krispy Kreme glaze, and I should be good.
Yeah, you'll never want either again.
All right, then.
All right, Danny, what are you drinking?
Whiskey from the fountain.
A whiskey fountain?
Yeah, just a whiskey fountain. You take a shot before Joe and I head out in the Ubers to go out and terrorize Seattle.
See, it's interesting because with fountain, I feel like I get to have as much as I want. But with whiskey, you can only, really, you're supposed to have like small amounts of it, aren't you?
Have you seen me drink?
That's true.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Thank
I take
you.
it back.
Kid friendly, I would go with unsweet iced tea.
Okay.
Yeah, I love unsweet
By the way,
iced tea.
mine was kid friendly. Didn't even have to go kid friendly. Mine is just kid friendly, glaze everywhere.
All right, here's my follow-up stupid question.
All right, I'm ready for this.
You said you want to drink the glaze for a Krispy Kreme glazed donut, the glaze sauce.
And if you folks have never seen the sheet of glaze that they use when they're making those glazed donuts, oh man, it's like a scene out of a movie where you have a waterfall of awesomeness.
Okay, so we know your answer, but is there anything that you have or would drink that's not actually a drinkable thing, like that's not meant to be as a drink? Like for me, for example, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with those soy sauce packets that you get from Chinese food places.
Oh, wow, that seems like a lot to drink that.
Yeah, I was a kid. I was stupid. I thought it was delicious, but my parents finally had to keep it away from me because they'd get the Chinese
so
food.
you would just be soy.
You know those little packets,
and you would just drink them.
I'd tear it and then just drink them down, slurp them down.
And you loved it. Oh, that's so salty.
I would go through 4 or 5 of the packets before my parents would freak out.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I would do the half and half things, like when we go to a breakfast joint for the coffee. Oh, those are so tasty.
You just drink them by themselves?
Yeah, because it was just like sweeter milk.
Yeah, but at least those are meant to be a part of a drink.
Yeah, you're right.
But I was taking shots.
You're doing shots of the half and half.
I will. No, I don't. I know they were only meant for coffee.
I mean, would you rather soy sauce or half and half?
Oh, is Krispy Kreme glaze involved?
No.
Oh, then okay.
See, my answer is always the same, and it's ranch dressing. I'll throw ranch dressing on my plate for chicken wings or something, but I always
would you drink it
squirt
straight?
Yeah, I always squirt a little bit more so that way I could just chug it off of my plate.
Really?
Oh,
Straight?
Yeah. So good.
I wouldn't have a problem with that either.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
And
I have to have a delivery system. I can't drink it straight.
Your finger.
You're gonna eat.
What are you gonna say?
It's like a fun
I'm
day.
not gonna let you put ranch on my finger for your enjoyment, pal.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. Oh man. Wow. I mean, look, I cannot throw stones at any of you because, look, I understand Krispy Kreme glaze probably would be way over the top, but I still am anyway until you guys are weird. It's listeners on the loose, 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call. That's the number to text.
We got a lot of text messages from people who really enjoyed the Brian Danielson interview that we had earlier this morning. And it's up right now at the Odyssey app or at KSW.com. Just go to the BJ and Migs Daily Podcast. You'll be able to find it. A few people that aren't even wrestling fans that said, I've enjoyed listening to that guy just talk about the random stuff that he was talking about. One texter said, I just wanted to wish Brian Danielson a big congratulations on his career success from meeting him at 17 years old at Castle Rock, Washington, becoming a friend. I'm glad he followed his dreams. It'd be great to see that guy again. Last time I saw him was at Papa Pete's Pizza Parlor. All the best from Corey.
Yeah, I want to point out with that interview, because like you said, Steve, even people that aren't wrestling fans, Brian, even though he said, I'm just a regular guy, got an average, whatever, I'm not anything special. But the wisdom and the way he approached life, especially as a young man, there was so much there. And the way that he's interacting with his kids, and his wife's brilliant way to get one of his kids to stop swearing. And I won't tell you what it is. You've got to listen. It's brilliant what she did to get one of the kids to stop saying a word that, like, oh my God, granted, it was funny. It was a fun interview from somebody who is super successful and yet probably one of the most down-to-earth celebrities we've ever talked to.
It's funny because we brought up a little bit about how it's kind of like that Seattle music scene is almost similar to the Seattle wrestling scene, and that's a community. Everyone really wants to see each other go up and succeed. But man, watching it, just listening to him, like we've had like Stone Gosford in, and before Chris passed, Chris Cornell, and when they come in, they're just so unassuming, and they're just like regular dudes, and just like they want to talk about regular, just whatever stuff. They don't even care about talking about whatever they're like there to promote. Brian's the same way. Like he's arguably one of the biggest wrestlers in the world, and he just comes in, doesn't even care. He just wants to talk about the Seahawks, the Kraken. Off the air, we were talking about like the random like things that you would see like in the back of comic book and wrestling magazines. Like he was, it didn't even like. I think if he didn't have his PR people with him, he probably wouldn't even care if we talked anything about wrestling.
And that, look, he and like those other folks you mentioned, they're not consistent what we have for guests. We have guests that come in who are at that level, if you will, and they're not nice people. And they're really rude. Look, we try to do our show the best we can, but man, I've had guests in this studio that were literally looking at their phone while I was interviewing them. They never gave me eye contact. And I'm like,
that was my favorite.
What the F? It's just like, how do you treat a human being this way? Like, and that's why it's such a pleasure to see someone who's risen to his level. And you realize that all the really good people in entertainment are like Bryan Danielson. Yeah, there are other people that kind of get there, but I would argue they won't sustain it the way Bryan has, because they just don't have their head in the right place, which is he is a passionate person for the craft, and he doesn't get addicted to the money, the fame, and the power, and that is the way you do anything. In life, if you just do it for the love of what you're doing, and you're really good, you'll get that other stuff as long as you don't focus on other stuff, and that he just illustrates that.
Going back to the thing that people would drink that's not actually meant to be a beverage.
Let's do it.
Give me Frank's Red Hot Fountain all day.
Oh, my God, no. I'd be... Because it has to go through the whole system. You have a...
Are you talking about like your digestive system?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a little much.
I do not need that in my life.
You know what also I would drink, and I have, and don't tell my wife because she thinks I just throw away. Like, so we get that teriyaki at Honto's Teriyaki in Puyallup, and I genuinely believe that they are mixing in crack in that teriyaki sauce.
Yeah.
Their sauce is so incredible. It's tasty. It's sweet. It's got it's the perfect teriyaki sauce. I'm obsessed with it. Right. I'm almost tempted just to buy one because they'll sell you like one like a pint of it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm afraid I would drink it as I'm driving home because like I will like after we eat like we get extra packets like those little like like the ketchup packets, but it's all the teriyaki sauce.
Sure.
When she's not looking, I'll just kind of like slurp on it. Like, delicious.
So that's a shock from a guy that does the soy packets. But I'm the same way for tamarind, which is an Indian brown sauce with, I think, dates or figs and, tamarind as well, which is another thing. It is a sweet brown sauce. You usually get it when you get pakoras, and it is so good. And son-in-law in the year, J. Rubs, bought me a giant container of it because he just knows how much I love it. So it's always in the fridge just in case.
What's the competition to be son-in-law of the year, though? When he's the only son-in-law.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good point. And I mean, I don't know, unless I find kids I don't know about. And,
hey, it was this ancestry thing. You just don't know.
You don't know. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm that way with tamarind. I can drink that straight. Yeah. Oh, so good. Man, it's so good. Still doesn't beat crispy
sauces, man. Sauces are the best.
They are, man.
It makes everything great.
Oh, yeah. Good marinara with a mozzarella stick. Come on. 206-803-ROCK. The number to call, the number to text. It is listeners on the loose. We've got more of your calls. We've got more of your texts. We're going to take those at 9:33 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Listeners on the loose. 206-803-ROCK. The number to call, the number to text.
Someone just said, Migs, if Sting wrestles at Climate Pledge Arena this weekend, that would mean there would be two Stings that have been at Climate Pledge this week. LOL. That's right, Sting, the singer, was here last night at Climate Pledge Arena.
I totally did not even know he was in town.
I didn't until I saw a couple people posting pictures on social media. I was like, wait, what? At first, I was thinking the wrestler Sting. I'm like, no, he's going to be here this weekend, I'd imagine. What are you talking about? And then realized, oh, no, it's the singer.
Does he do
the lesser Sting?
Does he do Police songs as well as his own stuff?
To.
Because I really don't care about Sting without the Police.
Well, then you probably wouldn't be the person to go see his show.
I'm just wondering, I guess a lot of women still love the dude or whatever, but I mean, outside of the Police, I know he's had some songs. I think Free. I think that.
Oh, yeah, dude, he starts the set off with Message in a Bottle.
Okay, so he is doing his stuff.
Every little thing she does is magic.
Of course, that's all Police.
And a bunch of, this would be the perfect time for like the next 12 to 15 songs to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because then he comes back with Invisible Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Walking on the Moon. He did So Lonely. That's a great song from the Police. King of Pain.
Yeah.
And he closed. He did that. Every Breath You Take.
Yeah, which is the Stalker song, which is still funny that it's he's playing it even though it doesn't age well.
Roxanne.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was part of his encore, and then he ended with a song called Fragile, which would be the I'm going to get in my car before everyone else leaves.
Yeah, I mean, look, these other songs must be his solo stuff that people love, and that's who's going to see him.
The only one I know is the If I Ever Lose My Faith in You, because that was like one of the first singles when he came out as a solo artist, and I remember being so fired up. Because I was a big Sting fan and big fan of the Police, and then that song came out. I'm like, what the F is this?
Yeah.
And like looking back on it, it's a really good song. But when you're expecting to hear the Police with like the Stuart Copeland type drumming and just like that vibe, and this song is just kind of like a mid-tempo, easy listening song.
Is there any ska in that song?
No, there's no beat. There's no bounce to it. So I was just like, what did you do, man? And I was so sad. I refused to listen to the rest of the record.
And I get that the Police, as they got really, really, really more famous and more success, they really didn't sound much ska-like anymore. But
they still had a cool bounce because of their rhythm section.
Yeah,
with Sting on bass and then with Stuart Copeland on drums.
But he surely left that sound behind when he went on his own.
Yes,
free, let them free. I'm like, yeah.
I forgot about that one.
I'm going to be let free right now from you, Sting. I'm done. Yeah. Look, he's had a great career. Obviously, he came to Climate Pledge, so guys like me, he doesn't care if I show up.
Yeah, I got to imagine it was pretty packed.
Yeah. Listeners on the loose, 206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text.
So instead, I was just reading an article about how Kurt Cobain apparently was jealous of Dave Grohl. Do you think that was true?
It's interesting. It's very interesting because you read Kurt, you read, at least I've been reading, The Storyteller, and I still haven't finished it.
That's the Dave Grohl book.
The Dave Grohl book.
How many months has it been since you started?
It's been a long time. I'm a slow reader, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm close to the end, though. I really am. I'm on the home stretch. I think I got maybe 20 pages left. I'm on the home stretch,
brother. You could do that today.
I know I could. I know, but I got like multiple books, and so I go read this one, I go read that one. And
or do you love it so much you just never want to finish it?
Maybe that's it. Yeah. That's it. And so you know Dave's life, and Dave did not have a great relationship with his dad, though he did have a tremendous relationship with his mom. And but yeah, it's funny to hear Michael Azerrad, who's got this expanded version of his biography, Come As You Are, the story of Nirvana.
And if you remember Michael Azerrad, I feel like he was like a Rolling Stone writer back in the day, and then he became known for writing a lot of really good biographies.
So in this, Michael is sort of alleging, or at least thrown out there, the possibility that Kurt may have been jealous of Dave Grohl. And I can understand. It seems reasonable to me. It's so funny to say this because Kurt would mock Dave Grohl for being fairly together and normal. That was a quote that he would basically, it would almost is like, dude, you're so lame. You're so together and normal. Which, of course, I mean, if you read Dave's book, Dave is not normal. He's stable, I would say, but Dave is rock and roll lifestyle that is, I don't know. Maybe for a rock star, he's together and
for
stable.
Nirvana, I think he definitely was the most quote unquote normal. Like obviously Kurt, very eccentric, and Chris, loved that guy, but he was, as a school bus, he has a plane. He's kind of out there in a fun way, he's definitely, I don't think anyone would be like, oh, he's the one that's kind of taking care of all the organization on the band. Whereas Dave, whenever you saw interviews with the three of them, he always seemed like the one that would kind of be willing to have a sincere conversation with whoever was interviewing them.
And that's what Michael talks about. Michael Azerrad said he was a popular, well-adjusted guy, Dave Grohl, and I think partly Kurt was making fun of that because he wasn't a freak like Kurt. And that perhaps maybe was the reason why he was jealous. He says, I think Kurt was a little bit jealous of Dave because Dave did have his act together. And I can see that. If you are constantly suffering, and I know this myself before therapy, you get mad. I get mad at people that seem to be able to function better than me. Like, how are you functioning better than me? And I can see that jealousy happening. And so it makes sense.
I always know. I remember hearing interviews with Dave where he would talk about, and they would share about how, like, sometimes Kurt made him feel like he wasn't a good drummer, like he was replaceable, he was this, and it's like to hear that just makes my mind want to like just explode, like, because I'm just like, Dave's such an incredible drummer. And he remembered sharing a story where one time he finally got like a call from Kurt before he passed, obviously, and it was just like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, the drums on In Utero are really cool. And I guess that like really hit Dave in a really good way, because he for that entire record when they were recording it, according to some of the interviews I've heard from him, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but like he didn't know if Kurt liked his drumming at all, and almost felt like he was like on one foot out the door at times, because like Kurt had that vibe.
Yeah, it's a tough one when somebody is suffering and they take it out on you. And I know it. I've done that to people in my life, so that's a tough one. I'm glad that Kurt was able to at least go, dude, good stuff. You know, so that Dave can go, okay, maybe it wasn't me, maybe it was something else. And we know now there was a lot going on for Kurt. There's something else.
It's crazy to hear that, because like when you think of these certain guys, these rock stars, you're like, oh no, they must be oozing in confidence in their abilities. And then I hear that, I'm like, man, Dave was just as insecure as any of us drummers. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think everyone hates my drum parts or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's cool, not cool, but it's comforting, I guess, in a way to know that, okay, even though they're at the time one of the biggest bands in the world, there was still that insecurity of, oh man, do my bandmates even like my abilities?
And I think that, you can go two ways with a guy like Dave Grohl. If you've got somebody like Dave Grohl in your life, who is the popular guy, who seems well-adjusted, if you want to be successful and you see that in a person, you've just got to figure out how to get yourself to that position. You got to do the deep work on yourself to go, all right, I need to be better at certain things, even though it's hard. Sometimes people hide behind their insecurities and social awkwardness and use it as a shield to not do the hard work. It's like, I get you have issues, but if you want to be great, you got to get by that stuff. And look, Dave Grohl has had plenty of adversity in his life. Mm-hmm. So you can't just go, oh, that guy's got it easy. And I would say that there are other performers out there in the world that I look at them and go, dude, you're the one that's in your way. You could be like Dave Grohl. You just got to put the work in. Dave has put the work in. He's got stuff he's had to get over in order to be able to continue and be the Foo Fighters dude that he is. Look at what he's done. And it's not because it's super easy for him to do. So I think I think that book is going to really give a lot of people some insight to, what you got to do.
You haven't even finished it.
No, the new one. Oh, yeah, you're right. But Dave, the storyteller is a really fun but also powerful read. And if Dave really wrote most of that, it's hard to know when you have a ghostwriter. But if he really did write that the way he wrote that, and that was his style, just another amazing talent that Dave Grohl has.
Part of me just thinks that he did. I don't know. I have no idea.
I believe, dude, it feels like he did it.
He doesn't strike me like as a Vince Neil who doesn't even know what he wrote in his own book. And when you even ask him questions about things that he wrote in his book, he's like, I never said that.
That's horrible, I know.
That's still my favorite interview ever.
Remember when I was talking about those interviews where I was just like, God, some of these people.
Vince was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And Danny, I was like, blah, blah, blah. Back in the day, he's like, that never happened. I'm like,
you wrote about it.
Oh, my bad. He's like, yeah, I don't know why you would. He was almost like giving me like he was like, how dare you even ask that question? And I was like, I had the book and I marked certain pages because I wanted to ask questions specifically about that. So I found like my markings and I was like, it's page 147. He says literally what I just asked. And he said, no, that never happened.
Was he promoting the book?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
No, yes.
It was an awkward moment. And
the book just came out. I'm like, you didn't even read your own book.
No, that's amazing. Because I just thought maybe he was just here like by chance and you had read the book. But no, that's even better.
And I
read the book. He didn't.
Yeah, that's the problem. And apparently didn't write it either. And again, look, we know Vince had problems, but that's the difference between like a Dave Grohl and a Vince Neil in my mind is that, you just gotta be better if you really want to
be better, Vince.
And not that Motley Crue hasn't had a great career, but obviously Vince these days hasn't always shown up in the most positive light. And yes, you've had adversity, but I would just like to put out there, Dave Grohl has also had adversity. So why is he able to be amazing and other people not? I think it's because you got to put the work in. That's why.
Can we go back to guzzling drinks that aren't really drinks?
Of course.
Of course, we got to get back to heavy issues, okay?
Yes.
Now, enough of this lighthearted stuff.
So we asked the question of what things do you drink that aren't necessarily an actual beverage. One person said when we were kids and we didn't get sweet, so we would open up Mrs. Buttersworth and guzzle it.
Oh, my gosh, that is...
I'm not sure if it would come out of a fountain well, though.
Oh, man, a fountain of syrup, though, man.
I mean, if you ate waffles every morning, you could just kind of throw it on there.
Real maple syrup, though, Bob Rivers brand, that's different. I mean, look, nothing.
Chug it?
I'm not going to say anything about store brand syrups that are like the real national ones that we know because, frankly, they're not. I mean, there's so much stuff,
deliciousness in them.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
They're unhealthy for a reason.
Real maple
taste
syrup
good.
is so much better than that. I mean, unless you've just been so destroyed by chemicals that your palate doesn't know. But like Bob Rivers syrup, you put that out there, and you can make it flow if you make it hot. So you have to heat it up so it will get warmer and less viscosity, perhaps, I think, is what we're looking for.
All right, since let's ask a stupid question, or maybe just say a stupid thing, which is every day on our show.
Syrup.
Yeah. What's your guys' take on a fig jam?
Fig jam?
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I don't think I've ever tried it.
Same.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I mean, unless it was on something fancy and I ate it anyways, not knowing what it was.
Might I recommend something that I
What do you got?
experienced over at Farm 12, that restaurant in Puyallup, and I've gotten to the point now I actually purchased my own jar of fig jam.
Whoa, damn.
So I can do it.
Okay.
You spread it on a bun when you have a burger.
Oh, interesting.
And have a burger, because that's how they serve their burger there. And it's I'm like, this is one of the best burgers I've ever had. And then I was like, it's the fig. The bread was great. It was like one of those, plant-based burgers. But I was like, why is this burger so great? And I realized it's the jam that they put on. I've never thought to do that.
Wow,
I now keep one in my refrigerator and do that with my burgers all the time.
Look at you.
So
look at you, fancy.
Throwing it out there, fancy. It was like $5 jar of it.
Yeah, but still, who would have thought of putting fig jam on a burger? I mean, that elevates the game.
Yeah, it's some fig preserve called Bone Man.
It's Bon Maman, maybe? Bon Maman? Like Bon Marché, Bon Maman?
I thought it was like some local, because it looks like it's a handwritten label on this jar. And, and I'm like, I'll get that one. I was at Safeway. And I realized, oh no, it's just printed that way. They make it look like it was like someone just bottled these jars. Or
That's how they like to do it.
It's brilliant, because that was the one I bought. Like they had other ones that looked like manufactured at a store, proper printed label, or the fancy jar. And I'm like, I'm going to go with the one that looks like it was just made last night.
They know what to do.
Yeah.
All right, fig jam on a burger.
Fig jam on a burger.
Sometimes when you put stuff together like that you don't expect and you go, damn. I mean, I like fig Newtons. Why wouldn't I like fig jam?
See, I don't even like fig Newtons.
Oh, all right.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't have them all the time,
No.
but when they're there, I'm like, it's been a while.
Yeah,
when I have this whole bag.
When I was a kid, the fig Newtons were one of those, I thought they were healthy. So I would eat the entire sleeve of it.
I want to,
and then they're not that
I want to still consider they're healthy, Danny.
They're not healthy, BJ.
I'm going to refuse to believe that fake news.
They're always the cookie where I grab it and I take a bite and I'm like, what the F was that? And then I realize, I just ate a fig Newton.
It's so funny because I love them. I mean, no more than I love an Oreo. I mean, like Oreos, I'll take over anything. But yeah, it's funny you don't like them, but you like your fig. But you like the fig jam.
Fig jam with a burger, man. It's the way to go.
All right, we got a big question that has to be answered right now. What do Ryan Castle and a vacuum have in common? I'm going to tell you at 9:50 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. And now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and a vacuum have in common?
Something to do with Steve or sucking, but more likely both.
And also dirty sack.
Dirty sack?
Yeah. You have to empty the dirty sack, so someone said Steve does that.
My dustbin.
Steve's mad when they both won't suck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I'm vacuuming my room.
Yeah, you are.
Steve's wife makes him do both.
Oh. It's true. Your wife is really consistent. Like, look, you've got to...
How do they know this? They have like a window into my home.
I appreciate the effort.
You go to Ryan.
Boy, you got to love when thieves get effed. And this happened in Philadelphia. Somebody stole a shop vac from the bed of a pickup truck last Thursday. And what they didn't realize was that inside that vacuum were hundreds of angry hornets.
Good. Awesome. That is instant karma, isn't it?
It's like money exploding or like the paint exploding from like a bank thief.
And actually, this truck belonged to a guy named Don Shump. Great name, Don Shump. And he owns a pest control business called Philadelphia Bee Company.
Don Shump would own a pest control business, wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't you just call it Shump's Pest Control, though?
Because Philadelphia Bee Company, buddy.
Bugs get shumped.
Yeah. You're right. You guys are right. It should be
Look,
the Shumper.
We're basically marketing people.
Oh, man. Well, we don't know who stole the shop vac, but I think when you see a guy with just skillions of bee stings, you'll know who it is. Ryan Castle, he's got a 12-pack. That's next.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.